views and opinions, it should be done behind camera. But doing it behind camera doesn't mean it shouldn't be transparent, because I'm sure it's not going to be only the CJ and whoever it is, but I'm sure that they are going to be maybe authorities who are supposed to be around, needed authorities as at that time, to ensure that it's being transparent. So I feel like it should be done behind camera, and after everything is concluded, they make it known to us. With that, I feel like it will be the right way. But in a case where they want to make it like hearsay, like public, known to everybody, I feel like there will be political interference into the proceedings. And
but already we can see that there has been a political interference. Here lies the case: the NPP, the minority, and then other political parties are coming together to demonstrate against the removal of
so that is a red flag, that this issue is not supposed to be made public.
So the essence of it not being made public is to protect the reputation of the Chief Justice. So according to the president of the Ghana Bar Association, if the Chief Justice is willing that it should be made public, why not? They should telebroadcast it for everyone to have a view of it. Not as if only she's confident that she doesn't have anything in the dark, or maybe anything against her.
That would be her decision. If she's willingly, okay, then why not? It should be made public, because after all, you're not
all right.
So when she feel like, well, I don't
her
have any
reputation wouldn't be tainted. Why not?
Exactly, and I'm not hiding anything. Why won't it be made public? But then when she feels like, no, this has to be closed, and trust me, anything that happens in closed doors will definitely be made known.
Right.
Will definitely be made known, because those Anas.
Yeah.
The investigation he does, he did it. He has been doing it closed doors. We don't know, and all of a sudden, everything that has been done closed door is being exposed for everyone to see. So definitely, it will be made known. So I don't see the reason why it should be made public.
Yeah.
For everybody to know.
All right. Let me move to Miss Regina. Then I'll be back to you. What's your overview of what the Ghana Bar Association President Ms. Afuakate said with regards to, telebroadcasting the hearing of the petition of the removal of the Chief Justice?
Okay, so I would say while the idea of public hearing aims to promote transparency, they should really look into this issue, because it is a legal proceeding. It is a constitutional something they are doing, and it's against constitutional rule or law for them to make such process or such hearing public. It has to be private. At the end of the day, the public will still get to hear about it. The public will still get to hear about it. Let's take the issue of court cases, for example. Court cases are not being brought out to the public. They are done in private. And at the end of the day, we still get to hear whatever went on in the courtroom. The final verdict that was given, we still get to hear what went on there. So as he said, Anas Arimea Anas, whatever investigation he did it in private. He never came out, organized press conferences upon press conferences, inviting the public to come and give their overview on this or what is really going on. He rather investigated in private and made the results public. For them to make this thing public, they need to consider a lot of things. The judicial judicial process. They really need to consider this, and also the interest of the person at hand. Because with this, it can't be public, and it will never be public because it comes with its own rule. So before I feel that you need to make it public, you need to amend the rule you set yourself
in the constitution.
Exactly, you need to amend that rule first. After all, man makes rule, man breaks rule. So if you want to make it public, you need to amend the law or the rule you set down yourself before you can make it public.
So what if the Chief Justice come out and say, all right, in order for everyone to know that I'm innocent?
It is not. This is not even though the issue is in relation to the Chief Justice, but no,
she can't just get up
exactly
and be
because
like,
you are not the one who sets the rule. The law is stated, it is written in the Constitution. So you don't just wake up that because you are innocent, you think you are innocent, they should make it public. No, it's not done that way.
All right. But personally, what is your whole overview of the demonstration the minority and the other parties are, embarking on against the removal of the Chief Justice?
It's useless.
Why do you think it's useless?
It's useless in the sense that all these things have their should I say, everything we do have, we have our way of doing things. We have the appropriate way to do things. Demonstrating is not one of it. This issue is not an issue of demonstration, even though it's a day issue, but it's not to that extent for you to demonstrate on it, for you to release press conferences, press statements and all that. Allow the judicial system do their job. Allow them to do their job. This is a case of, should I say, political interference. At the end of the day, there will be the same people to say that with issues like this or with cases like this, people are interfering, both the public, both the political parties and all that. We should allow the judicial system be independent. They should work on their own, devoid of any political interventions or political affiliations. So with what they are doing, I don't see.
Ms. Debbie, what's your take on the demonstration the NPP and then the other parties are embarking on?
It makes no sense.
Why do you say so?
It makes no sense.
You think it's not necessary for them?
It's not necessary at all. You see, it's very, very sad when we tend to politicize everything in the country. Even if you see this thing to be bad and wrong, you feel like the best thing to do is demonstrate. I mean, what is the need of you demonstrating? That the CG should maintain his position. When, what's the name? The former Electoral Commission, Charlotte Osei, right?
Yeah.
When she was booted out, did you see the National Democratic Congress, coming up to demonstrate or something? They were quiet. And so now it's your turn. Why are you fidgeting?
But why has it triggered them?
I feel like because there is something, trust me, there is something these people are trying to hide from us. And I feel like if they should keep quiet, the investigation is actually, going to push out what they are hiding from the public. That's what I'm seeing. Because I feel like they are actually hiding something. Because you appointed this person and she's doing the work. Were you doing the work with the CJ? No. You appointed and she was performing her duties. Because I've never seen a point where the CJ is supposed to hold an issue and then she takes phone and call the president. Mr. President, this I can't do. Come and take over. No. So I don't understand why you should be demonstrating. It means you're actually hiding something and you're trying to cover it up. But trust me, whatever they are trying to hide, at the end of the day, they say a boy will be able to right. So at the end of the day, we are going to know what they are trying to hide from the public. Because I feel like you are demonstrating. And even the person you are demonstrating on her behalf is quiet. She should be fighting for herself, but we are rather fighting on her behalf. Which means that we are BB.
All right. So
and you don't want it to be known.
All right. So there's a comment on Facebook, and this is coming from Innocent Kojo Fiagbedu. And then he says, the Chief Justice is a public appointment. However, the petitions being online is not a problem. We should know the petitions. Corruption and shaming should be public. Previous governments have made it public. So why are they fighting it now? This is coming from Kojo City on Facebook. Do you agree with him though? That they should be named and shamed in public?
Well, yeah, in a way I agree with him. Because you've robbed from the state. You've embezzled money that belongs to ordinary citizens. In
relation to the Chief Justice? In
relation to the...
Oh, she embezzled?
Wait. I didn't say she embezzled.
Oh, you're citing an example.
No, what he is saying, so I'm trying to cite an example.
All right. I think you should make it clearer next time.
So that's what I'm saying, not with the Chief Justice. Okay. But this is what I'm saying, that someone who has embezzled money from the state belonging to the ordinary citizen, that kind of person involved in corruption should not be made, secret it should be known. But with the CJ, for me, I believe it's a different issue on its own. So the matter should be dealt with like inwardly. Then after that, whatever goes on should be made public for us to know.
But here lies the case: the whole public is interested. What at all did she do to the extent that president has to, suspend her? As of now, she's on suspension.
It's not your case.
Or at the right time, the president will come out to, clear our doubts on that. But as it stands now,
The petition shouldn't be made public.
I have no say.
All right. Is there anything you want to add on?
Okay, so I researched something, and it says the proposal for a public hearing in the case against our Chief Justice is a complex issue that intersects with constitutional law, judicial independence, and public interest. Any decision to proceed with a public hearing would require a thorough legal examination to ensure it aligns with constitutional mandates and upholds the principles of justice.
So if the petition needs to be read, meaning we have to go back to the constitution and amend it before we do that. So
after all, man said true, man break rule.
So as it stands right now, since it's in the constitution that it shouldn't be made public, then I think we need to respect that because it's a rule, right?
Because at the end of the day, whatever went on in the courtroom, the final verdict given, we would get a wind of it.
Yeah, right. We will get a wind of it. Thank you so much, Miss Regina. All right, moving on. Education Minister commissions committee to scrap teacher licensure exams. The Minister of Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, has officially commissioned a new committee under the National Teaching Council to reform the current system of teacher qualification assessment in Ghana. The main objective of this committee is to design a new framework that moves away from the current reliance on the teacher licensure examination. The decision is consistent with President John Dramani Mahama's 2024 campaign promise, where he pledged to abolish the teacher licensure exams if elected. President Mahama and the current administration believe that assessing teachers purely through a standardized national examination does not adequately measure a teacher's readiness and competence for the classroom. Instead, the new framework is expected to focus on two main pillars, which are academic training, ensuring that teacher education programs are rigorous and comprehensive in their content and methods. Practical field work, requiring aspiring teachers to gain real-world classroom experience as part of their qualification process. Minister Idrisu emphasized that the transition to this new system must be carefully managed. As part of that, he proposed that individuals who previously failed the teacher licensure exams should be granted one final opportunity to retake the exams before the entire licensure exam system is officially phased out. And this is coming from our Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu. What do you make of it? Replacing the licensure exams with something else. So he has formed another committee to have a proper look into it, that instead of them scrapping the licensure exam, there should be something that should replace it. What do you make of it?
Something to replace it, as in what?
Yeah. Whilst in his campaign,
message, he said
he
was
going to scrap because he felt it wasn't necessary.
It wasn't necessary. Oh. That's the truth.
You think so?
Yes. Because how can you go to school, learn a lot, and then you've passed all your exam, and then you have to go and sit down and write a licensure exams, right?
Yeah.
Licensure exams. Then at the end of the day, it means when you fail that exam, you have to keep writing it till you passed before they can, certify you as a well-equipped teacher to go out there and then impact knowledge.
So you think it's not necessary for us to write?
Oh, it's not necessary. For me, the licensure exam is just a waste of time. It's not necessary. So you said you scrub it. That's my point now. You said you scrub it.
So you think why do you want to go ahead and fulfill his promise?
Exactly.
Rather than substituting it.
Why do you want to substitute it again? It means licensure exam not can once it has benefits.
But with this licensure exams, it is a standardized measure to ensure teacher competence. I feel.
So are they trying to say that the teacher trainees are not competent enough. Because even
Maybe.
before you were admitted into the school, you will be interviewed. You don't just go and buy the forms and then you go to the school direct. You will be interviewed. So what are they trying to say? So for me, it's not necessary. They should just scrap it. They shouldn't substitute it with anything else. Because you cannot go and suffer throughout 4 years, and
But
then
you see,
passed out, and you
looking-
want to go and write. So, and this thing they are writing, if you fail, it's just like Novdeco. You keep writing it.
So you think they shouldn't write it and then they should just, like employ unqualified teachers into our
What
schools?
shows they are unqualified?
For them not passing the exam shows that they are unqualified.
The last session exam that they didn't
Yes.
pass, it shows they are unqualified.
Because here lies the case, here in this country, even when you complete SHS, you call yourself a teacher. Based on what grounds? Is it because of your WASI result?
SHS is different from training college, because no SHS graduate teacher will be employed to go and teach at the universities, at the
No.
JHS. It's only in private schools.
So what
not
about
in government
so
schools?
what about the other professions that they need to write final exam before they are being employed or called into an association?
That
Let's
has to do with the law.
the law and then the
law
doctors as
school.
well.
That's
so
it.
How different is it from the teachers
It's
training?
different, my sister. It's different because with the law, we know that that's how it is. You are supposed to write exam for you to be, admitted into the school. And then for teachers,
Do you know what the licensure
and even with
exams
nurses,
is?
they
Can
interview
you
you
find that
first.
for me?
No, she's asking you to write something for that.
The licensure exams.
Okay, so they said before the teacher licensure, I searched is the exams written before the licensure exam. So
Yeah.
they said before the teacher licensure examination was introduced in Ghana, that is 2018. Newly trained teachers mostly did not have to write a separate national exam to be licensed. Instead, once they graduated from a college of education after passing all their coursework and final exams, they could be posted to teach after completing their mandatory national service and sometimes an assessment by their employer, usually the GES. Now, the TLE, that is the teacher licensure exams, was introduced to standardize the qualification process nationally. Secondly, ensure that all teachers met a certain professional standard, and lastly, improve the quality of teaching across schools.
So you said this is not necessary. This should be taken off. If this is going to help you chaff out the unqualified teachers who are not qualified to sit in our classroom and teach our future leaders, our coming up future leaders.
Teachers who go to school to, how will I even put this? They go to school to acquire more knowledge, right? And they are trained. They are well trained. And believe me, in the teaching,
So if you are well trained,
schools, they defer you.
So
They
if you are,
defer you. So if you've not been deferred and then you've passed all these tests, it means you are qualified.
But you've gone to school, you've passed all necessary tests. Why should you then fail the overall board?
exactly my point.
Why should you then fail that one exactly?
So justify your inclusion.
Do you even know the questions they set for them?
We don't know, but
Definitely, the
obviously it
questions
will be
will-
with regards
exactly.
to what
It
they
will-
are
it
training
will go
about.
according
It
to what
won't
they
be
were
something
doing.
outside that.
No. For me, it's not necessary.
I feel
They said this paper assesses candidates on numeracy, literacy, and essential professional
See,
skills.
we have people who pass
Then
this
when our
licensure
doctors
exam
are
and still
done
not
going to their
qualified to be
medical schools,
teachers.
they shouldn't write any exams to take
Exactly.
license. And let's see how
They
you
should just-
feel.
Wait, what you are
Because even sometimes
Wait.
when you go to the hospital,
Wait.
you look
You
out for the
said-
doctor's license
Yeah.
before you feel
Wait,
yeah.
you are
at peace.
saying that it assess them and then ensure that they are qualified to be teachers. And most of them who even pass this licensure exam are not even qualified enough to be teachers. So what are you saying?
No, what makes you think they are not? So how
Go
did
to
they
some of the
pass?
schools and see what they are teaching the student there. Then you come back and then you understand what I'm trying to say here.
So you think that the exam should be scrapped?
It should be scrapped. There is no need. There is absolutely
See,
no
with
need.
what she's saying, I feel that we should go back to the schools to see what these teachers are teaching the students. It boils down to these people not acquiring the necessary
And they are the
training.
ones that even sit in their homes and make noise that SAR exams were here because they know themselves.
In the government sector, you can't just go to any school that you are teaching unless you are being posted or your supervisor sees to it. But when it comes to the private sector, with or without any licensure certificate, you going to any teaching college on all that, you can still be a teacher in any private institution.
I still stand on my grounds. It's not necessary. The licensure exam.
Well, I feel like if this
necessary.
is scrap, we are not putting some kind of like professionalism and respect on the
Before this
teacher
licensure,
profession.
Yeah.
before this licensure, it was this previous what's the name? Previous government that introduced the licensure exam. Before it came, they were posting qualified teachers. So what are you
So
trying to say?
let's do it this way. If you've submitted your resume and then your what's the name again? Your CV. Why do you have to go for interview?
Yeah.
You have to go
They
for
should
interview
just
because
pick
it's
you.
necessary.
Obviously,
And even
in this case, this is it.
even after the licensure exam, you will still be interviewed before you'll be granted the permission to work.
So this is to
And you know, even you taking your resume, your CV to an institution to be interviewed, after interviewing you, you are still putting on probation. You are not just employed just like that.
And we are the same people that sit in our homes and like, and now my employee in Kolato to face on me.
It's not about incollatus of faith. It has to do with here.
So if it has to do with that,
it's
why
not
should
about
you
your
be
stature.
intimidated to take the exams? That is it.
The exam is not necessary. Even before this exam came, they were still, posting teachers. And trust me, no school, because before you be employed in a school, you have to present your CV.
Okay.
You have to be interviewed first. So with this licensure exam or whatever, that's why I say.
So why is it that when we are going, I'm citing a lot of examples so that you can get this clearer. So why is it that when we are going to school?
Please, a comment that can read right.
All right. Okay, so there's a comment. This is coming from Innocence Kojo City again. The scrubbing of the licensure exams is totally uncalled of. Doing such things to validate your governance is rather not the best. I think it should not be scrubbed. He says in another comment, you don't need to change everything to make a point. Even doctors write exams to get a license. Teachers should not be left out. Good morning to your listeners. Thank you so much, Innocent City, for that submission and then for engaging with us. Thank you for joining us. So this is what City wrote under our comment section on our Facebook page. You still stand on your grounds that this
it should be scrapped.
Oh, you just said it should be. All right. Okay. So let's do this briefly before we go in for the Debbie's girl. Compulsory foreign language to be introduced in SHS2 by end of 2025. And this is coming again from our Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu. The Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, has announced a key component of President John Maham's education vision, which aims to introduce the compulsory study of a foreign language from senior high school Form 2 as part of a broader curricular review. Mr. Idrisu said the initiative is designed to equip Ghanaian students with global competence and bilingual proficiency to better prepare them for opportunities in the international era. According to him, this policy is expected to be integrated into the national curricula during the next phase of educational reforms. Languages on offer will include French, Spanish, German, and Chinese, among others, with one language becoming a compulsory addition to each student's area of studies. Hey, aside the French that we couldn't, tackle, now they are adding another one: Spanish, German, Chinese. Do you think that is what the educational sector need at this point?
At that point in the student's life, I would say it's useless. It's very important, but at that stage, it's useless.
Because can you use another word for useless? I feel it's a bit too harsh.
I'm not saying it's useless as in it's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
But at that stage, it is not necessary. See, such languages should be taught or should be learned at a very tender age whilst coming up. So I feel it shouldn't be introduced in SHS, but rather primary. JHS. Because, me say, okay, let's take 17, 18, 16. They have, should I say, a whole lot of educational burden. They have a whole lot of educational burden to the point that their brains are, should I say, are boiling up. Now you want to add French, even French criteria saying, French in school, saying.
Anytime the French teacher comes to class and I'm angry.
Germany, Chinese.
They should have even added Swahili.
See, it's a very good thing because as an individual, when you know how to speak a lot of languages, it helps you, it helps the economy, it helps the country as a whole. But I feel that they should start it at a very tender age where their brains are sharp.
All right.
We are not serious as a country.
Why do you say so?
We are not.
I think this morning you are going boot for boot.
we are not serious. See, we have students who cannot even speak their own dialect.
Exactly.
We have
I was
students.
really thinking, so why don't they introduce the local
I've seen a Ghanaian married to, I think, a man from USA. And so the children are actually, basically, let me say, they are white. Because my managing, and these children were speaking Gan fluently. Abrakwa Ghanaian, you cannot even speak your own dialect fluently, and you want to introduce Spanish. You want to introduce other languages from different countries for us to study here. Whilst you can even emphasize on the local language like the Gan, the Chi, the Ewe, and emphasize it more for the students to learn. That will be better. If you are growing up and you feel like, well, I want to, because I have a colleague in Pentecost University. She knows how to speak Chinese. So if you are growing up and you feel like, well, I want to learn something on my own, with your laptop, you can learn, languages from different countries. They will tell you how they greet and then the meaning. And then you actually get a guidance. So I feel like we should rather make our own dialect here compulsory, because trust me, Germany, they are not going to make Chi compulsory there for their students to learn.
Right.
They are not going to make Chi compulsory for their students to learn in Germany. The Spanish we are speaking here, no Western country is going to make Chi, because Mankasa Yehumo say, excuse me. Before I won't even say it. Before they'll come and tell their students they learn Chi for what? And then we are rather here, and I should go and learn Spanish. About the student there, the person can tell you that I'm a Gan, but when you ask him, when you greet him,
him or she. You see what education has done? You are talking about
hey, goodness. If you want to greet him or her in his dialect, to be like, I don't understand. Or the child cry reply you. English reply you. Okay. I don't understand. So we should rather make the Chi, the Gan, the Ewe compulsory.
Rather than
for us to learn.
Bringing in the foreign languages.
All
right. So let me read the last comments on our Facebook page. And this is coming again from Innocent Kojo Fiagbedu. He says, there are better things the ministry can bring to educational system. There are schools that do that already. If you want to learn, go there. We have not even finished learning our own languages. Shall I make you think?
Exactly. We've not finished. And then this Spanish, okay, fine. You said they should learn Spanish, they should learn whatever. So when they are done, are you going to create an environment where they'll be employed in places where they speak Spanish for them? Because what is the essence of learning the Spanish?
But it's a plus, you know.
I know it's a plus, but here lies the case. 90% of we Ghanaian citizens cannot even speak our dialect. I can boldly tell you that I'm a Voltairean, but I cannot speak my dialect properly. Someone can boldly tell you I'm a Gan, but I can't speak Gan properly. And then you want me to add Spanish, French, crying who's soon as Spanish. So
French crying and Spanish. Thank you so much for joining us on our news headline review. Up next we have Debbie's Girl.
morning. It's another Monday morning. Let me put it that way. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Girl. We speak to issues that concerns the state, right? So I saw something during the week, and I was a bit surprised, and will I say I'm a bit happy too, because I can see that some people are trying to correct their wrong. And then what am I trying to say? In the week, the New Patriotic Party actually went to Takrady as part of their thank you tour, to appreciate the citizens, even though they didn't massively vote for them as they stated themselves. But then during their conversation with the people, the New Patriotic Party, the former vice president of Ghana, as well as he belonging to the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, made a statement. Then I was like, oh wow, I feel like they're trying to back up. So Dr. Bawumia said the main reason for them losing was attributed to the uncompleted National Cathedral, and then recent increase in fuel prices, high cost of living, and as well as bad governance. I'm not the one saying this. This is actually from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And so he made mention all these factors contributing to their loss in the 2024 election. And I know you can testify that it is very true. This is what they should be doing. It's good for you to realize, sit down and know that this is the mistake, and I have to back up on it, because it is true, 100% true. You spend over 58 million on a national cathedral. Somebody making a promise to God that I'm going to build a national cathedral for you, and then at the end of the day, we the citizens have to pay for a promise you made to God. And to be sincere, we were not there when he was making these promises, but then we have to pay, forcefully pay, and that is the taxpayers' money. 58 million invested into a borehole. And so I kept asking myself, where is the money? Because you've invested 58 million, and up till now, the National Cathedral is now a man and a borehole. And then you will also testify to the fact that the previous government was not a listening government, because 3 days to election there was increase in fuel prices, and then we saw instances where the ordinary Ghanaian has to demonstrate that, listen, this is what we are facing. You cannot be sitting at your offices and then come out to make claims that does not tally with what we are going through or what we are facing. And then it'll be like it's not necessary. We were here when they implemented the e-levy on the same issue. We said, no, it's not going to help us as a country. On top of that, they made merry. They popped champagne, and then a cake was cut on top. And so, coming to the realization that this is the main reason why we've been booted out of power, I think these people, they are trying to back up. Because I've seen in other videos where some party members are trying to shift blames. Making claims that do not even tally. And you see, this is the time for you to sit down and assess yourself. What have we made wrong? What are we supposed to do right? Where are we going to place this? And then you'll be sincere to Ghanaians. Yes, we accept the fact that we didn't do this right. We didn't do this way. We are supposed to move towards this direction. But unfortunately, this happened, and then we have to move towards this direction. But we are sorry. We are going to back up next time. And I think that is what is supposed to be done. And so when I saw this, I was like, wow. It means they are trying to back up. But you see, another case has to do with when you shift blame and you try to make it known as if you've done the right thing. Then trust me, you are going to remain in opposition. I'm not the one saying this forever, because some Ghanaians are actually saying this. But coming up to make it known, then I think it's a plus for the New Patriotic Party. Because the factors he mentioned was absolutely correct. You cannot spend 58 million on uncompleted national cathedral. And then when we say you feel like, no, what you're saying is the wrong thing. And I always say that, see, you have to be a listening government, no matter what it is. Because the position you are holding, it's not by your own will. That position was actually entrusted to you by a group of people, believing that you can lead and lead well, not to just lead, not because of your potentials, although the potentials count, but you have to also listen to the people. Because they are on the grounds and they are feeling the heat more than you do. 24/7, you sit in air-conditioned offices. Even the vehicles you ride, trust me, they have AC in them. But the ordinary Ghanaians walking on the sun 24/7 feels what they are saying. And so when they come to tell you that this is the challenges that we are being faced with, then you have to listen. You have to listen. Because when you don't, trust me, it will take you by surprise. And you see, I said they did well, but it's not only about you pinpointing the mistakes you did. I mean, you are supposed to set up as well and make sure that those mistakes do not repeat itself again. I saw some videos and I was like, this country, it looks like when you are in power, excuse my words, it's like you are not able to think properly. I'm sorry for that. But immediately you are being booted out of power. That is when the reset happens. I mean, everything begins to function properly. And then you get to know that, no, you are supposed to do this. And you've now become a conductor. And then you are correcting and conducting the current government's administration to do the right thing. But when you were in power, everything ceased to function properly. And this is the mistake. And so if you, or if the New Patriotic Party as a whole have identified these key issues, which you and I knows it is true, then you have to sit up, work towards it, and make sure that those unnecessary conferences and things that do not make sense has to cease as well. It has to cease. Because looks like now the attention is now focused to the 2028 election. And so if you are focusing on coming back, then as in opposition, you have to do the right things as well. And make the party lucrative as it used to be. And put the things, or you put things at its right places. If not, then trust me, you can pinpoint what's actually led to your downfall, but if you're not ready to make the necessary corrections, then it will definitely go against you. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much. And that was Debbie's Grill. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Welcome to Today in History and Did You Know Live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, where we educate and entertain you on the fascinating facts you didn't know. Today in History 1992, Nelson Mandela briefs OAU on negotiations. On April 28, 1992, Nelson Mandela briefed the Organization of African Unity and Hawk Committee for Southern Africa on the ongoing negotiations to end white minority rule in South Africa. This was a significant step in the country's journey towards democracy. Today is World Day for Safety and Health at Work. April 28th is observed globally as the World Day for Safety and Health at Work. In Africa, This day underscores the importance of promoting safe and healthy working conditions across the continent for workers. I repeat, in Africa, this day underscores the importance of promoting safe and healthy working conditions across the continent. Today also marks Workers' Memorable Day, a day to honor workers who have died or been injured on the job. So may their soul rest in peace to all gone souls who died in regards to their jobs. Moving on, 1967, Muhammad Ali stripped of heavyweight title. Boxing champion Muhammad Ali was stripped of his heavyweight title after refusing induction into the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War, citing religious beliefs. 1924, first recorded use of oboe in jazz. On this day, the oboe was used for the first time in a jazz recording. This milestone reflects the influence of African American musicians in expanding the boundaries of jazz music. Moving to some few did you know for today. Did you know that camels have 3 eyelets? And this is a key adaptation that helps them to thrive in the harsh desert environment. The first 2 eyelets are lined with long curly lashes, and the third, called the nictitating membrane, is translucent and can sweep across the eye to protect it from sand and debris. Did you know that tomatoes are actually fruits, not vegetables? Botanically, a fruit develops from a flower and contains seeds, and tomatoes fit this description. However, because they are used in savory cooking, most people think of them as vegetables. Did you also know that it's impossible for most people to lick their own elbow? The human arm structure and the limitations of the tongues, which make it physically challenging to connect the two, making it impossible for most people to lick their own elbow. And this is where I end today's Today in History and Did You Know live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Do well to join me same time tomorrow for more educative and fascinating facts.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for the fascinating fact. Well, I know that tomato is a fruit.
Okay.
For that one, I know.
Right.
And I also know that you can't lick your elbow.
Okay.
But there are some weird people who can do that.
I
I wonder which part of the world they are coming from.
I think they are really flexible. You know,
Or
some
maybe their
people
tongue is that long.
Oh no,
People have long tongue.
long tongue.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you wanted to say something before I chipped in. You've
Yeah.
forgotten. And today is World what?
World Day for Safety and Health at Work.
Our work. And what are we supposed to be doing? To be
Not
checking
you,
that. Not us.
but what our bosses are supposed to be doing.
So what are our bosses supposed to be doing? Tonight?
Okay, so as the World Day for Safety and Health at Work, this day underscores the importance of promoting safe and healthy working conditions across the continent. So our bosses need to make sure that today needs to be celebrated. They have to make sure that our environment is safe and conducive for us, so that we can work very well. If there are any incentive they think it can give, why not? That can be given.
Well, so maybe today manager should book.
What? Book what? Alisa Hotel for us.
Yes, maybe some spa would
You
do.
know, after swimming, massaging, medicure, pedicure.
Yeah, today is
And all
World.
the kiosks.
Yes,
And all the kiosks coming back refreshed to deliver more content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Workers' Memorable Day, those who lost their lives in line with their work.
Oh, okay.
I think this really goes to the soldiers, police officers, fire workers, journalists.
Have you come across any journalists who have lost?
Oh,
do you know
not only dying but acquiring an injury? Yeah, most journalists get hit. Most, especially some teachers who were stabbed in the eye by some students. Yeah. This thing needs to be.
I nearly said
recognized.
Komla Numo, but Komla Numo didn't die in line of work.
No.
He was rather declared ill.
Yeah. And even this young man, Anas Mayal, his subordinates.
Yeah. We can say him as well.
Yeah.
So today we can remember him. So remember him. Don't cry too much. Though.
1 second silence.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us in the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Right after this, we'll be coming up with the news. And right after the news, we'll be coming up with the second segment. Please stick and stay with us. What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi keshito.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bliss,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news right here on GTR.
Good morning and welcome to the morning news broadcast on GhanaTalks Radio. It's exactly 8 a.m. streaming live inside our studios. My name is Deborah Adoso. Coming up, Baumia blames the New Patriotic Party's defeat to National Cathedral and fuel price increase. President Mahama to launch a Jumaura and National Apprenticeship Program. Students of Central University leads charge against drug abuse. Okoye Vanderpoy urges increased support for healthcare workers. These and many more coming up shortly. To stay with us. The former vice president of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, attributes their defeat in the 2024 election to the National Cathedral, citing an amount of 58 million spent on the uncompleted building with a sudden fuel price increase. Speaking during the party's thank you tour in Takoradi, Dr. Baumia dismissed claims of tribal factors playing key role in their defeat, but rather economic and governance issues. However, he reassured that the next New Patriotic Party's government will prioritize job creation among the youth, whilst calling for re-evaluation of policies and culture within the party.
National Cathedral, National Cathedral, after $58 million. Now, nipa bebree efu as far as the National Cathedral. Now, Adiana, 3 days to the election. 3 days to the election. Yet to petrol. Yet to petrol. And yes, sir. 3 days. Mimiti and Namika said, Omobua. Mr. How? Young, see about 3 days to the election. Yako to petrol. Hey, you say you winning and I say you say you. Now, driver for a buefu 3 days. And Omoko to Abano 80. Aba yako 2 yi. Ebufuo aba na nipa 2 yi. Enyasa before abana nipa tu enti na yɛka sɛ yɛbɛ hyehyɛ okwe committee no so ɔmo ayɛ ɔmo adwuma ewie sɛ the general secretary boss no ɔmo akɔ constituency biara ɛwɔ Ghana na ɔmo produce ɔmo report ɛdi a ɛyɛ me dɛ no sɛ okwe committee report no agbɛkyerɛ sɛ there is no religious factor in the 2024 election. Now, and then it is not a factor at all. And number two, there is no tribal factor in the 2024.
He also alleged the National Democratic Congress had non-valid campaign messages yet won the 2024 elections, attributing it to poor governance and high cost of living.
All the studies are so far. The big issues are one, cost of living. Niema bo ekosoro ahochiri ebai. The kanu eye adia yefreno arrogance of power. Express yasu na eyeti. Yasu edin yentie asem. Party for country say yenye reshuffle. And yes, 8 years yantie. And yes, party for country say yempe e-levy. E-levy no ebe hagin. The Tosomiansa party for country say haircut no debt restructure no DDEP. Somewhat in answer. Say sad debt restructuring no ebe hard because most of them are pensioners. And Omapenibe announcing said there will be no haircut. Some okay. Ghana flowing in ING. But ebe no yebeye haircut. Also share a buy yentua napco biom na yentua afforestation for biom hatred so yentua na also share regions bebree said the general secretary kan no your votes no dodo no wo ho no yanye juma bebree wo ho western region said the okan no ukojo mora uko evaluate uko mpoho so many places ya kwine a problem market set intimi tabra shaban yes so the problems that is just western region osha na MPP na ye kotu abano na nkabom no na eni ho papa enyesa na yekasa against each other na NDC ebo ewo radio ewo TV towards the 2-3 weeks to the election. So na omuni campaign but playing our own language back to us. Etina ehia said ye campaign a yen hwe say ye internal contest. Don't break down.
Moving on, President Mahama is set to launch a Jumawura Mahama Kit and National Apprenticeship Program today. The flagship initiative aims to support young entrepreneurs in setting and growing their businesses. The program is also to provide mentorship program to 10,000 young people in the informal sector. According to the Minister of Government Communications, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, the initiative aligns with President Mahama's vision for the 24-hour economy, which aims to increase employment, productivity, and revenue increase. Away from that, as part of Ghana's Pharmaceutical Students Association Week celebration at the Central University Over 400 pharmacy students volunteered, and the association made an Up Week program in Pram Pram. Hundreds of residents benefited from free medical screenings, free medications, blood donations, and other health services. President of the association, Lord Israel, emphasized that alongside providing health care, the initiative is also focused on tackling drug abuse and raising awareness on the devastating impact on the use of red among young people in the university's catchment area.
Drug abuse has become a very serious issue in our country, and the Ningo Pram Pram district is of no exception. So through our outreach program, we are tackling head-on this drug abuse issue, especially the wound in red trend. So we are educating as many youths as we can get on the negative side effect on the use of wound in red or tramadol, on they themselves as the youths, their family members, and in the community as a whole. So we are looking at targeting at least 2,000 to 3,000 people in the Pram Pram area. We are giving them free health screening and then supplying free drugs to them, and then also referrals with regards to cases that are a little bit out. Yeah. So we've realized that
Female members of the association emphasize the critical need to prioritize women's growth in the fight against drug abuse.
Talking about tramadol, other painkillers and drugs that women tend to use, especially abortion pills, are things that we also have to look at controlling in the system. The drug abuse is one thing that is on the rise amongst all the youth, not just males, but then females too. We are taking it upon ourselves to reach out to young ladies in the communities around us to educate them on the adverse effects of drug abuse and then how well to.
I was born, I've never go to a place to check, and this opportunity has also helped our market women and other people to be able to come there and check. Some will find it very difficult to go to the hospital to do that, so we say we appreciate.
Very positive that doing this will help us not only give back to society, but also to know how we would work in our dealings with people.
Moving on, Member of Parliament for Ablekuma South, Alfred Okwe Vanderpoy, has urged health professionals to speak about the challenges they face in the healthcare system. He emphasized the importance of health professionals being proactive and voicing their concerns to policymakers, citing the current leadership willingness to listen and implement changes. In an interview, Mr. Okwe Vanderpoy encouraged health professionals to seek audiences with President Mahama and other high-ranking officials to address their concerns. He believes collaboration between the public and private sectors can enhance healthcare services and address funding challenges.
What they do very well and talk about it. As a general public, sometimes we don't hear the success stories. We hear the challenges and the complaints. But I think that when you have the opportunity to sit with professionals of healthcare delivery and they tell you what they do behind the doors and you hear it, it brings out the commitment and the willingness to want to do more to support them. So I'm asking them that they should go further. With these meetings, they should take it to the closest, to the people who matter, who make the decisions of our country. We shouldn't be afraid. We should go. We should seek audience with the president. We should seek audience with the people in high places and show them. Because I'm saying that, when the rubber meets the road and you are in that situation, you can be saved right here in this country. And we have to make it and create it for ourselves. Let's believe in what he has told us in the campaign and now what he's telling us as the president of this country. Let's take advantage of that, and it can make a difference for all of us and for the benefit and development of our country.
The whole country is...
In business, the IMF Mission Chief for Ghana, Stephanie Raudet, says Ghana's economic program is on track and should end successfully, achieving the targets and structural reforms outlined for the country. He emphasized that these legal frameworks will help control budget overruns and address debt vulnerabilities. However, he cautioned that sustaining the program's success would heavily depend on Ghana's commitment to adhering to the program's targets and reforms. This is not just about today, today, but also about preparation for the next year's budget, which will be very important, he stressed. According to him, things are progressing according to plan under the International Monetary Fund program, with no disruptions anticipated, provided the government remains committed to the program's condition. In sports, Kwame Opoku scored a brilliant finish to help Asante Kotoko beat Aduana FC and end their 4-game winless run in the Ghana Premier League. The forward, who started a 1-2 pass with Baba Yahaya, finished off with a low drive, beating goalkeeper Masawudu Inusa at the near post. Kotoko goalkeeper Kamara Mohammed made crucial saves to keep the score level. Kotoko eventually claimed 3 points, whilst maintaining their 4th position on the table with 50 points. Meanwhile, the Aduana sit 11th with 38 points. Up next for Kotoko is the Super clash against Heart of Oak, whilst Aduana faces Brekum Chelsea. To some showbiz, Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Abeku Santana, has confirmed that the authority has reported Royal Dede Beach Resort, a hotel in Accra, Newtown, to the police for investigation. This comes after a viral video circulated on social media with allegations against the hotel's management. In the video, a woman was heard accusing Royal Dede Beach Resort of allegedly allowing minors to engage in intimate activities on the premises. In a post on X, Abeku Santana assured Ghanaians that the Ghana Tourism Authority has reported the matter to the police for investigations. Upon inspections, it says the Ghana Tourism Association discovered Royal Dede Beach Resort has been conducted into a hotel with appropriate regulations. He added that the operator has been directed to the Standards and Quality Assurance Department of the authority for the necessary regulations. And that's how we end it for now on the morning news broadcast. My name is Deborah Adolso. Thanks for making time with us. Do have a good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues,
entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, and I'm level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say no artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you're a rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fit spit fire now. Listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio, and yes, say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app, no, our Play Store, any App Store. No tune in, and say this is what you say. Baba live on Facebook, Cointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page, and this now. Listen, I bet you fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
It's Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, and we welcome you to a brand new beautiful morning and a whole new week. This is the week that we end April, the 4th month of the year 2025. It has been a roller coaster of all aspects of experiences and emotions for people all around the world, in terms of the weather, in terms of economical stability, in terms of political hiatus and all of that. But all in all, God has been with us. He has been with me and my co-hostess and my producer and the entire team at Ghana Talks Radio, as we've been able to come your way every single day with this delightful show. And as we do always and as usual, today we are here again to serve you some of the breakfast meals that you are yet to experience in your entire life.
Entire life?
Oh yes. And the breakfast now you best serve no. And you're sumptuous and akrobetu obrofobia yo ka on langa bill. Mekai na ya makai. But do you know that man Langabell?
No.
Oh. You don't know Langabell? Wow.
Who is he?
Joseph Langabell. Oh, I'll find some of his
pictures.
One of these days I'll bring him to the studio.
Hey, you bring him here.
You will laugh and
no,
laugh.
But who is he?
Oh, Langabell is
he a journalist?
Oh no. He's like a die-hard supporter of the Black Stars.
Oh,
you've seen him?
No, I'm not into football, so obviously I wouldn't know him.
Well, find time to know him. You enjoy him.
Right.
He's my man. Yeah. So yes, once again we are here in the studios in Accra, the capital of Ghana, to bring you the most delightful show in the city, Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And fortunately for us, we have our guest, the abled Mr. Ochre Bexon, here with us. We all know how Bexon does it. He will give you the pros and cons of every topic of discussion. He will make you understand it to the depthness of your misunderstanding. Yeah, that's how Bexon does it with us in the studio. Is he?
Yeah.
Over the weekend,
yes,
something happened.
What happened?
Before we get into that, let me welcome Bexon back. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Bibi Aboko.
God has been good.
We thank God. I said 2 weeks ni
yes.
I tell say we share Dubai kaka. I buy
wow.
Fusika ba no
really?
Hey.
Okay, let me take this advantage to say a very big good morning to your cherished listeners and viewers.
Okay.
And we're very self and the next thing I'm in the team. It's been a while though, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it was still for God and country, so
sure.
We are back in the studios again.
So before we hopped on to your welcoming, I was speaking to AC about something. The NPP, the administration that left power some few months ago, are embarking on a tour, you know, and They call it a thank you tour.
Okay.
And over the weekend, in one of their visits to the Western region, they said that, and this is coming from their flag bearer. Then, I mean, they are mostly going to elect a new or different flag bearer in the coming year or two to lead the party into the 2028 election. But the previous flag bearer, the current one, as we all know him to be, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, mounted the podium and said something. He said that some of the things that actually got them to lose power in the recently held election was due to the fact that they increased fuel without even his knowledge. That is one of it. He said that the party was disjointed and ununified. He said the party. I don't know if you've actually listened to him. Have you listened to him?
I've heard some of the things in the media space, but I've not really. Well, you see, PK, it's a clarion call, and for me, it's worth it because anyone that always you learn from your mistake is worth it, so that you can do your corrections and get it right.
Okay.
NPP as a party have come far in terms of things that they put in place so far as the governance of this country is concerned. However, people were anticipating that based on the good things that over time they did, or how their free SHS kind of other brilliant policies here and there should have even given them the nod to win the election back again. But I always say that Ghanaians always know better.
Okay.
They know what time it is, who to give you the mantle at what point in time. So they did their best, but then the election couldn't go in their favor. So if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is giving this clarion call, it is a step in the right direction. The reason being that the full aim of every political party is to capture political power. Are you getting it? Yeah, sure. It's to capture power. So if something happened and then you couldn't attain power again and then went back home, it is good you go back to the drawing table, assess where you had it wrong, and correct your mistakes so that Ghanaians can consider you going forward. So for me, it's a good call. I've heard Honorable Kentu making another brilliant call along the line that the likes of Afoko, Alan Chemanton and co, who, so to put it, the party has let go of them, should bring all of them onto the fold. And then it is good, because even if in the last election Alan had 0.1, the 0.1 is number, and is a number that you need it, because in politics we deal with numbers. So remember that even he stepping aside from the MPP was also able to elevate the vote margin for the NDC. So it's a call, and you need all these people on board. There should be that sense of unity. They shouldn't just be, as it were, just profess it, but then they should make the moves around it and rally everybody on board, so that the party will be at its feet again to give Ghanaian a better option in 2028.
But would you say that it was due to some of the policies the NPP implements and that led to these people leaving the party?
For me, yes, to some extent. And I'll be very happy. You see, the way the Damboche, the old professor's report hasn't come out yet. It will be hard to know what exactly happened. But I knew that even when the laws came, they took the pain to visit the various constituencies to ascertain information for themselves, what really happened. So it's true, in the middle of election, prices for items were skyrocketing. Meanwhile, you have an election to go and win. The people were complaining, e-levy, we don't like it. He said, no, we will give it to you by force. You see, don't do this. He said, oh, it's a yes, I do. So that level of and Ghanaians, they can only punish you when they go to the polls. Other than that, demonstration, what have you, is part of the constitutional processes. But Masa, I buy no few, I won't feel. But 4 years, you have what it takes to let him know that Charlie, I can't now I'm fine yourself. I feel finally a sick of you. So it is worth it. It is worth it that they are seeing some of the mistakes that they committed, and it's true. But I see partially, if Dr. Bawumia creates the impression as if things happen at the blind side of him, it will be very disingenuous to we Ghanaian.
Yeah, coming to that, I saw in the news he made a comment that was it someone made a comment that he wasn't even in agreement with the E-levy.
Sure, and some of these things came openly, and we were all very much aware. But listen, you were the vice president, and you were the one that were going to market you to take over from His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Sure.
So the party, and by extension Nana Addo, should have made you a pivotal role in whatever was at stake, because you had an election to go and win.
Sure.
So if you say that some of these things were not, so who was the one spearheading all these things? That's why I'll be happy that the outcome of the committee's report will be made public.
Okay.
But they will also tell you that the time that NDC has similar to NAMI some time ago, the Kwesi Boche, thank you, Kwesi Boche report didn't come out openly to let the public know what was really at stake. So for me, whether they will make it public or not, they should implement whatever they took from the general populace, which is their people, and implement it to the latter.
Okay. All right.
And they should implement it to the latter.
Okay.
Otherwise, unbearable position at check.
Yeah. So in your opinion, what would be your advice for them going on this think it all? They should just apologize rather than playing the blame game as of now.
Yeah, I mean, before you answer that, adding to the blame game mentioned by Essie here, we've heard Paragraph Wache.
Yeah.
And analyzing what the vice president said, the previous former vice president said, he says that, and you've even mentioned it here, that it's so disingenuous of him to distance himself from the failures of the party after the party have willingly handed power to you to come and lead them into the elections, which you woefully failed. So far,
why would you say that? That's so harsh.
Why should it be harsh?
No party.
Because this kind of indictment. Charlie, I know.
Alright, sorry about that.
No, that's fine. But you see, the public uproar since this tour began, even after listening to their first public address, has been that it doesn't seem these people are actually taking accountability for the mess they created. It has become a shift of blame game kind of. You see, and trying to whitewash some people from other people.
Like they want to
distance
themselves.
Let's present this person as innocent. Let's present the party. Some people that they think are now going to lead the party, they are trying to whitewash them to the public. I mean, how do you think this is the way to go? This is the way to regain the public trust of Ghanaians in rebuilding the NPP going into the 2028
Okay, so
elections.
PK, it is always this way. People want to apportion blame in everything that happens. Sometimes it is good. So that going forward, you be to me, I had the right thing. Now, boy, now. Some of these talks that are coming is worth it. But when it begins when it starts on the note that we want to shift the goalpost, we want to just apportion blame to this and that, to make this one appear as if he is the angel within. It shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case, because the doctrine of collective responsibility will tell you that the onus lies on us all to succeed. So when we fail together. When we succeed together. It is about Dr. Bawumia should appreciate the fact that he was part of the mess. But however, we are learning from our mistakes. Ghanaians, this and this happened. Wholeheartedly, we all accept it. We had a shortfall during our governance or during our regime. But however, we are putting things in place. When you give us the nod again, we will correct the wrongs. This is how the whole discussion should be centered around. But it shouldn't sound as if I wasn't on top, I was not privy to this. Now why? Nana, he was privy to what? Are you getting it? Ghanaians are still watching whether the MPP is gradually position itself to become relevant in the next bid.
Okay.
Because you see, I always say that President Kufuor during his regime did marvelously, but it didn't guarantee the MPP to continue from there. And that is the Ghanaian for you. That is the Ghanaian for you. Mokwaya and Mokwaba, no matter what. But then when you do it and then you do it well, they don't mind continuing for you.
Okay.
Are you getting it? Infrastructure wise, just name it. John Dramani turned Ghana into more like infrastructure hub. Yeah. Building.
I think it got to
Dubai.
That
are you getting it?
Even the NPP were like, infrastructure.
You understand? Yeah. But Emerson Omuka say even though why are they also Kotanase. So are you getting it? Sure. But the ordinary Ghanaian always thinks about the bread and butter issue. The bread and butter issue. The bread and butter issue. Because there should be something to put body and soul together. So if at the end of the day you are not doing things right to put body and soul together.
What puts the body and soul together?
Now a hungry man is an angry man. No. FPK. A hungry man is an angry man because say nipa no ma come de na mre so a obekwa ko punish o. And I always say that aban bi ani ho ba obetumi akasa na pa yenkosa lie. And he's giving us cocoa and bread for the morning. Ewia na say be di lie mu.
Ya kwaje gobe.
Ya sa goje gobe. Enwumre ni aba beji efufuo ne it will never happen that way. But at the end of the day, when systems are put in place, na se nyoma ekowa wa ni jojoa obia ho beton kakra. We can't have heaven on earth. But then the little around us we can experience that at least. And then me call a 5 CD or chance me call na bia yen skyrocket here but 5 CD na me to me toma e biba fie. You know that is how the ordinary Ghanaian wants life to be. But if the politician would tell us to fasten our seatbelts while they are happily losing theirs, it's painful. So the hungry man will always be an angry man. Yeah.
Okay. So then I'll give you the platform to answer what AC asked. That what will be your advice to them in this thank you tour that they are
for me? It is good that they are appreciating Ghanaians for even the vote margin they gave them. Yeah.
Is it that they didn't even deserve the?
For me, you know, whether it's survey or research pinpointed to a fact that even majority of the party folk didn't even come out to come and vote. It should tell you that even the real party people, some of them were not even happy about the happenings within the party. And it's how they are made a member, you understand? Go and win your election and let's see. No, are you getting it?
I like the punch bars you.
That is it. Me you understand? Yeah. So it is good that they are appreciating Ghanaians for the kind of vote they gave them, and then even rejuvenating the party base and letting them know that Charlie, all hope is not lost. Sure. We can rally behind again, have a formidable force, and look forward to go and recapture power. Okay. And my little advice I can give them currently. Is for them to overlook that aspect of who leads the party now.
Okay.
Being it Brian Champong, being it Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, being it Kennedy Japan. That interest or that bid, say, we in a chinchanche person will lead it doesn't come into play as that now. Okay. They should come together to rejuvenate, restructure, and be able to recapture power again. Okay. But I quite to say, Kasan be breko in say is skewing towards some direction. Yeah, the way by and I went to remember made the vote na here no into emfa in sinche na nkofo before. It doesn't come into play. Okay. Concentrate on the down there. A form for no. They are going through the healing process. Give them sense of hope. Okay. As to why when we are giving the nod, we can recapture power. That should be the focus. Because being it Baumia, being it even if Alan should come back and Alan should come and lead, it is the party. Okay. It is not the individual.
Okay. I mean, speaking of firm for being in pain near the end. We've learned that even after 4 months that they left power, they haven't been able to pay their party folks. I mean,
no, I don't think the party folks. It is the headquarters, the workers. Yeah, and you see that should tell you that power is sweet. Oh, you see, when MPP was in power, you didn't hear some of these things. Yeah. Because Charlie, somewhere, somehow, to be in a way, somewhere, baby, fiska, baby, abana, show be, and everybody is okay. And we amuko opposition, they are crying. A comaba. Are you getting it? Yeah. So it should tell you that power is always of essence. Don't downplay power. Okay. And when power comes, make good use of power.
Okay.
So even if few months after election, and now you are even unable to pay your party workers at your head office or whatever relevant places, it's painful. That Kennedy Japan has to step in and help in that regard.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Izzy, are you comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So what are we looking at today? What's the first topic we are looking at today?
Also, today our first topic has to do with anti-Galamsey protests by NPP and other parties. Yeah. So today there is going to be a demonstration. It will be starting from 2 p.m. There will be
2 or 4?
2 p.m.
Really? Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
I think 2.
Yeah, 2 p.m. right at Obra Sports, and they'll be marching from that side to the Flagstaff House.
And I learned that it's from 2 to 12 a.m.
A.m.
Yeah.
Well, I heard.
But why should it be that? Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe.
PK, are we seeing the essence of this Galamsey fight?
But, okay.
Even if these people should even go and picket for a whole week, I'll be happy.
Okay.
A whole week.
Yes, we are not attaching seriousness to this Galamsey side. Look, I had the opportunity to go to the western north just somewhere last 2 weeks, and it's heartbreaking. Even when you use Takra, the big puzzle, after the toll booth, look at how the Ankobra River is looking like. Now Cape Coast and its enclave are unable to enjoy water, constant supply of water for even a week. Now you know and I wait to me the pipe for people to enjoy or to consume. Look, this Galamsey fight, we are not attaching seriousness to it.
Okay.
To be very honest with you, when the NPP were in power, they were massaging things around. Their own people were part of the system. Now when DC came, they are doing the same. Go to the river bodies and then the forest reserve. Their chairman and the party people, Oman Omakota excavators, it's the NDC people. Yes.
Wow.
And then people were doing same when they were in power, and then the NDC were giving it to them hard. They thought but today they are doing the same. So it's a shame. I always say that the Galamsey fight can only be fought, and this battle we can win it when there is a political will.
But
so you get a minister come and sit on TV and he'll be crying. Yeah, the Ejumana Shaunsa.
But so far, I think that very day that the minister came crying, we are trying to overshadow the essence of a press conference with a crying. Let's look at ever since this minister came to power. We've seen some things that he's done in regards to fighting this Galamsey. What do you make of this? Do you think that this is just public gimmick or he's actually doing something?
PK.
Yes, sir.
You see, soldier from with 2 other way they went to fall foul of the entire exercise.
Okay.
And China cost us some toys. Yellow, some water guards. Are we serious? Are we serious as a nation? We are not serious. Oh. You see, I always say that said to get to a time as a country, even water, we have to be importing water. That is my challenge. And water is our livelihood, our survivor. So when it can sustain life for you.
Sure.
And our water bodies are getting out of hand day in, day out. All in the name of this Galamsey thing. So for me, he's doing his best Trust me, he's not sleeping on the job. Sure. But the sooner than him for resource him back. Get the ground running, put the men. Let them know the essence of whatever is at stake.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
Because I always say that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will not be happy that under his tenure and as under his reign, Ghana it will be a bad precedence and then a very bad legacy that he might leave behind. Are you getting it? Yeah. So please, let's have the political will.
Okay.
Let's crack the whip.
Okay.
Let's bring people to book and found whether a party chairman, whether a party faithful, whatever. You understand? Yeah. It is about the survival of the next generation.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
NPP intimo aba munso SMU yebi. And it's not to about the TMPP no.
Okay.
Into about only excuse. You need to get the job done.
Okay.
Get the job done. Let them, Sam George and Co were calling for state of emergency in opposition. That was the essence. Like they saw the need that Galamsey ought to be clamped down with immediate effect.
Yeah.
But are you seeing when they came to power today? Are you seeing that agency that they used to speak again? No, okay. They don't use that agency again. So for me. We have the citizens and we have to protect them.
Okay.
And give them a better life.
Okay.
And I'm a bambi no beba na pe besa la obema yudiani o. Na mo ma ya sitena mu ye okay a. Na sitena be okay. Nye na na ebenye sika say ye nya nsuo no ma ye be import nsuo. How many?
Sure.
Because already look at how the rippling effect of this Galamsey thing. Go to the remote. People are giving birth with kids with deformities. Just are you getting it?
Yeah.
There should be a state of emergency so far as this Galamsey fight is concerned.
Okay.
Are you getting it? Yeah, sure. And I believe His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, when he stamped his authority on some of these things, Charlie, less than 6 months, this fight will be a battle won.
Wow.
So that it doesn't become rhetoric.
Yeah.
Let's pretend to be working so that people will pretend to see that it may be Koso. It shouldn't be. Attach agency to this. For the past 1 month, Cape Coast is not enjoying stable water supply.
Wow.
Wow. Because in Siona, the what river is a non-number than any normal like you understand to go through the process to be able to. Now say in Siona po any I will be to import treaty now what to me I pass it through your pipe bodies for us to even enjoy water. This is the level that we are getting to as a nation. And I support this demonstration 100%. Okay. It ought to be done.
Sure.
Let the government know that, Charlie, we have the next generation at heart.
Okay.
So stamp your authority.
Okay.
If not you are, think about the next generation.
Okay. Talking about the distance and the picketing of this, they are walking from Obra, the circle, to
Obra Sports.
To Flagstaff House. Yeah. Was it last year? We saw some individuals embark on this protest, and the government in power then made us understand that the Flagstaff House is a security zone.
Yeah, they say it's a security zone.
So, what has changed now? Let me put it that way. What has changed now?
No, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the question.
Last year, police for now.
But you and I know that the Flagstaff House is a security zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Okay.
It is not say a security zone, and then so we go to a security zone. Okay.
But then they haven't restricted them this time around. They restricted them last year. Some were even. It brought a whole lot of things. Some arrested and all that. So why do you restrict them last year and this year they have the freedom to picket there?
You see, obi a demonstration or police or watch this is the route I want to use. I want to start from here and end here. You go through whatever plans with them because they have to give you their men to ensure that properties and lives are protected, even as you are going about your constitutional mandate, what the constitution allows you to enjoy. Because constitution never quite say as a citizen say bibi cost now when you're happier you can go, it's your right to even go on demonstration.
Yeah,
it is allowed within the ambit of the law.
Sure.
You understand? So Omo Bekoi Anase and Nebeshasi. Meaning said they had a round table discussion with the police and they give them the route and even how the whole thing will go, the men and so on and so forth. So if by extension they wanted to go to the seat of government, which is a high security profile place, and that is where they want to go. I believe that the police have more men or they have much protection to be in place. I don't think they can go straight to the Jubilee House, but to just within the confinement of the place. But they can't enter Jubilee. Okay. That one there, it will never be done. And it can't even be done.
Sure, I understand you. All I'm asking is this. Last year, it was in this same confinement.
This should tell you the difference between these two people. Bako was seen more like a human rights activist. When people who wanted to go on demonstration, they unleashed beatings on them.
It's okay.
Are you getting it? Obi say, okay, it's your constitutional right, so you do it. Come, by put this. That instead of come see NDC MPP, no, I'm on your pay. Difference. Now what they did NDC MPP, I'm on your pay. But however, as a language, I will be at every point in time.
Sure.
So for me, the demonstration is a good call. It's a good call. I will not be surprised even seeing NDC people who have conscience will join.
Oh, but I mean, this shouldn't even kettle whoever, whether you are politically aligned to
this or that. It is a sense of that is it. A sense of survival. The water that we survive on.
It's bad.
Look, if the last tree dies, the last man dies. Sesi anka first in Puna Galamsey, no, na at first na omoye in room ene empuanu ina omoye Galamsey.
Yeah.
I think somewhere last 4 months we had the opportunity to go for some funeral around the central region, and in the full glare of the ice, somebody was mining in the sea. Yes, our epunumu. And he was washing the thing into the sea. And I'm saying, hey, this is serious. And say, they are showing the way that even the greater Accra and the Volta region that were safe havens, because Ohonomu needs answers now to me. Say, I prono a biwum into to me too. Can you imagine?
Wow. Before we leave you on this issue, let me ask you this. People have been calling for a shoot to kill approach with this Galamsey thing. We've seen how some of them are armed. Yesterday, I was looking at a certain video, and it was at a place where the army has been there to clear them off. And as the army left, the people has come back again with new set of equipments to mine there. Enti yabe pam ya ko be foforo akopam ya ko ye no masan ape equipment foforo aba,
right?
So is it that however we are treating it, there, as you put it, we are massaging it, because bia nka shoot to kill ya nkofukin we mu ye shoot o ma sanka nkomo nsama never beto equipment foforo aba na. But I just want to get your opinion.
Very well. Shoot to kill will be too of a harsh decision to take as a nation.
Really?
Sebi, human life is precious, extremely precious. But however, we can still put measures in place that will still deter people from engaging in this kind of what I say. But remember that these people there, I'm not justifying their actions though.
Okay.
But no only says the koto excavator.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Obi no woni sika no akoto no akofa sankrofu abegum se mumba ye adwuma. So when dealing with this, you must deal with the root cause.
Okay.
The kingpins behind. Because only ska or the call excavator, because excavator is going to charge you in hours. It be 1 million and or million only be it doesn't have. So the kingpins and the big men and women that do have the money are those who are engaging in it. So let there be prudent measure. Now bet you there could number could jail it be 15 years, 20 years with hard labor. No be a kotugalam say and obi akwa galamsey ni achi na jail in 20 years, is it not going to deter you?
Of course it will.
It's not necessary to shoot the person, say genuine confidence, so that you just. But people go for armed robbery, they killed some, but still, it has still not deter people from engaging in armed robbery. Are you getting the point? Sure. So the shoot to kill can't be an option in dealing with this. But however, there should be strong measures to deter people. Should be strong measures to deter people.
Okay.
Because people are overly reluctant because they can get this thing done with impunity. Because after all, because remember that even if by the time they get to the site, they're able to even call them, and they can one about operation.
Sure.
Until then, like Mamumba, or you get, because they have big men in among them, they are able to pre-inform them even over the activities of these security people.
Okay.
So let there be strong measure to deter people.
Okay.
I just heard recently that they've revoked the license of Akonta mining. I don't want to go so much into some of these things.
But I want to have your take.
Because if Senipano also a Ghana and say genuinely or ye Jumana and Galamsea, why do you go and revoke his license? Don't you have NDC people who are also working genuinely that they have their license and they are working? Or is it because maybe the Akonta mine in Irano or no belong to party A and A? Let us not do this. If they are mining and then they are mining in the proper manner, they've gone through all the rudiment and they have the certificate, they are more or less don't bring political vindictiveness in some of these things.
But have you sought to know the reason why they revoked his license?
I don't know. I haven't sought to know.
Oh, okay.
And then all that I followed in the media space was Akonta mining license has been revoked.
Okay. Well,
but I'll be happy to have the full details.
I think you should grant yourself that access to have the full.
Because you see, PK, me, I say that mining didn't start from today. From time immemorial. I didn't know the man and Ababe talk of the day I can myself. That now what they were doing mining, they were doing things right and proper.
Okay.
So it was not giving room for some of these hula balloons that we are all just an Ababe talk. So let's do it right. Say Nipano or license will go through the processes. No, what it takes to mine na nya galamsea. Manipano nya nejuma. Because one way or the other, he is also creating employment.
Okay.
And your manipa license are your mano like rudiment how you should go and get the job done. Do proper job.
Okay.
Are you getting it? Because yeah, to me, say mining should never happen in Ghana again. It can't be.
Okay. Sure.
But let's do it and do it properly.
Okay.
Galamsey should be out of the system right from the word go. Okay. Because they do massa famra kwan bi aso. Obetutu amonano reclamation bi anim now.
With our contaminating issue. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you can go ahead since you already.
Oh, okay. With our contaminating issue, the reason why they revoked his license is because he's been mining in reserves that he's been restricted not to. Secondly, it has come out from the Minerals Commission itself that his license has not been, what is the word they used? Ratified. So in other words, he doesn't even have a license to mine in the first place.
Like I said, I'm yet to know what really, but as a journalist, you've also done your work and you are putting this out there. Sure. I wouldn't fault you. But my point is, let us not and sound it to say a political kind of. If genuinely the lance is new and I said doesn't qualify him to do, it's not because he belongs to the change on Yejuma. Because as it stands now, we had NDC people that were fully certified to mine and they were working under MPP regime. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So if the license doesn't qualify him to go into that kind of arena, it's good because system must work. Things ought to be put in place.
Sure.
Are you getting it?
Sure.
And Uber come no, and you're no company be an idea who say you. Yeah, we've been so another number we've not come after them. I don't want to go there so much. Okay. I don't want to do all my energy so much in that.
All right. So in your earlier submission, you made it clear that this current government, when they were in opposition, they were making noise that why wouldn't the NPP government declare Galamsey a state of emergency? And you made mention of Sam George. We saw that on TV.
Yeah.
He made such statements. And right now they are in power. What do you think has influenced them not to declare it as a state of emergency? Right now they have that mandate, and then they have the authority and the audacity to do so.
Their own party persons are doing so. That is an open truth.
Yeah.
Their own party people are doing it.
Okay.
And they are very much aware.
Okay.
And say opposition yenye adwuma bi anye omo tata yen sa na se ne power ba yanka say dem so betata. You have to work.
Okay.
Until I make say the Galamsey fight is a political will. It's a political will.
Okay.
Forget about the coloration and be straight in your decision. Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
Because just recently we saw they went to one of these places and then party people were preventing the security from going to operate. They had direct encounter or banter with the security people. Hell, how dare you? Because you are buying of power, so we are emboldened.
So you see why.
So the language is changing. You know, in opposition, it was a different language. Now power has come. Now they are shifting the goalpost. I want to remember something that one of them said, and I got pissed. I'm like, so when you were in opposition, you were a strong advocate against this. But today, you are giving a different storyline. Let's have the will. Let's have the political will. You understand?
Yeah.
Look, MPP no matter no my dino. Near Kosi. What the Momunya power. I'm going to come and do the same. But at the end of the day, see, the political will that no. It doesn't matter whether we NDC ni or MPP ni will come after you. It is about the next generation. Let's be generational thinkers.
Okay.
Like Dr. Mr. Otabel said, let's be generational thinkers.
Okay.
Because our four fathers, they thought of Ghana and they deliberately did things that has brought us this far.
Okay.
Ghana shit. Because Ghana can go to hell. It shouldn't be. Let's be generational thinkers. So if it is wrong yesterday, it is wrong today.
Okay.
It is wrong today. It is one Ghana that we are building.
Right.
So that's that moral right, that the life of Sam George and so on and so forth, that energy, that vigor, including the current minister, and I know they kasa about this Galamsey thing. They must re-echo the same voice today. Let us hear their voices.
Okay. But we've seen them working, and then we've seen them doing all they can, including the Blue Initiative you mentioned. And then we have also seen or heard the minister also coming out to say that they are going to deport anybody or any foreigner.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Are you satisfied with what
Can
they
you
are putting
imagine?
in place?
For me, yes, they are making a move. But no money be crampa or canomo and Emma who say Charlie in Crawford are not really serious about this fight. And it's a gun and yako to Galamsey, none the embrasso on a pan, else I didn't go jina mrenim. Na oho, ana ubruni, ana foreigner there, in deporting. So even our law, if it wants to be hostile to our very self, and then be lenient, be a bit lenient on the foreigner. Is that how we can fight the Galamsey and make progress? Let's get serious. Until they say minister no. If the minister is crying, I don't know into Osu. Then what can we do? The ordinary Ghanaian, we just make noise. But challenge Kusiaga. Let's Ghanaians see us that we are working. Let's get the job done. Look, let's crack our party people. No more, you know. I'm running Chiomo, Unko Jina Court, and jelly be womb.
Okay. But with this party people thing, when the NPP was in power, we saw how the NDC were pointing fingers at some of the NPP people who are involved in Galamsey.
And think how by
I'm coming. If indeed,
come after them from Kojina Court na jelly omo.
If indeed the NDC are also part of it, why is the NPP not pointing fingers at them?
Fingers too.
So PK, the impulse is the NDC is innocent in this?
No, I'm not saying that. No. I'm saying that if they were able to point fingers out at you, I got to hear of. I have seen people mining forest. I didn't know Woon to Miss Company was mining in the forest until the NDC made it loud and clear. If the NDC is also complicit in this, why don't you point them?
PK, I am finding it a bit difficult to reconcile with the stance. You see, your colleague journalist, Erastus, is doing a yeoman's job. So far, this girl, I'm saying,
fantastic job.
And openly, names are coming up on daily basis as to people who are found within an enclave. But there was an open truth that, baby, omo koho ko pamo ho fo ina sa afians omo so ma bayaba. Into omo ho no ko omo fio no omo mrembe. So it is there.
Actual people I'm talking about.
But you see,
the campings we are talking about is
okay, when we begin to as it were massage it this way, Ghanaians will only watch them.
This will rather be not the massaging way. If we don't want to massage it, this is how we should go about it. Some boy ending say yeah, and I Ghana for or more voting against most papa most more why don't we
so then we should use the, how do I say it, a nice approach. We should name and shame. Let them know that Charlie a Jamenu
the man want to me as how they named and shame want to me. I'm not trying to defend him or I mean no I mean why the company no deserve so mobile mine, we should revoke it, fine. But if the NDC did this years ago, it brought you out of power and they are also complacent in the same crime, why are you keeping your mouth shut? Name them.
But
the last minister back then in the NPP, Mr. Jinapo, he was named that he has concessions and he couldn't come out to defute it.
Okay, fine. It should be part of the approach, name and shame.
It should.
But the truth is, even in name and shame, we are. Then what next? So that the same umrano, the same law doesn't see to work on some people, and the same law seeks to, as it were, let go of certain people. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So what is wrong, and crime has no expiring date. So whether it happened under SY regime and it's happening now, let's take that bold initiative and deal with the individuals involved, irrespective of your political coloration.
Okay,
that is how it should be.
Sure. Izzy, do you have any comments to read for us?
So, declaring it as a state of emergency, how is it going to be like?
If they should declare it as
a state of
how is it going to be?
The state of emergency. And when we say we are declaring a state of emergency, it means there's a serious aspect of the thing.
So is it going to incorporate the shoot and kill he mentioned?
It is part
well,
of it.
when they sit down,
so
then they think
you shouldn't be seen there.
No, but the state of emergency is not just about shoot and kill.
But it's going to include that as well.
And I make say it is not necessarily going to take that dimension. It can also be an option to be on the table. Which for me, I wouldn't side with that option. Are you getting it? I wouldn't side with that option. Yes, I wouldn't side with that option. By the time you realize,
maybe I side with it.
Really, by the time you realize, PK,
how are you killing innocent people?
See, PK, way baby can deter people from the things they do. Christ, you see, even
see, Beck, you have seen some of these water bodies.
Yes, the ravaging effect of this. Galamsey.
I don't know. And grow. Yet in Ukraine, other places we are not having the vivid effect of it yet. It's in a come
PK, it's true, but you see, it to me alcohol because even armed robber cramp or genuine reason to occur for armed robbery. And I will be a sebi also try so baby be a putty body and so together. But however, nyamra kwanso na offer the I say it is good because says uncle now. And one thing too is that what is the next livelihood we have as a nation, the livelihood plan for these people. Are you getting it? Or my overly dependent on things. In Charlie, we are engaging the youth Intina Debi Amkasenka, one district, one faction in Asifon. It was a brilliant idea. But how well we were able to execute it was another thing all over. And think to me the way now, because I've been on Galam say, well, who's scaring himself? It is comfy and fair, bisa non pet. But so what she sham Bram Brani Moy, Dindian, only option. So, Obe Kwako Folly under different job, and no Emrajitum.
Okay.
Are you getting it? Yeah. So let us as a nation. Well, PK, to you to best work, but agree can't do it. I say agree more. I innocently be the kaka would be a benwa. Can you understand? But I know that in all, we are all advocating for the fact that this thing is not good and we shouldn't entertain it as a nation. Yeah. So going forward or fast forward, Yemfa no man to just deter people from engaging in illegality. I think that is the way to go. You meant well as a good citizen. It means same year. Are you getting it? Yeah. So look, just recently the newly mayor in Kumasi made a profound statement, which for me, I backed him by whatever he said. Say obe gomo. And yeah, Ghana home. I said Emra wa ho nanso emra no wo obia fam bra na no abu nukom no ye ne ope enti se mfia hye wachi ne achi ne ye lewo kroma se next time ubenya sa akukudro asan beton ade o pavement mu a but can I quickly the minority start jumping on defense how can you do this but no can so so ye no kre esem ma bobam ye bobi no ma open
That's still with us on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Radio. Is there any comment for us to get into that yet? Okay. So moving on to the next topic for discussion. The Honorable Minister for Education has said something that in the new curriculum to be enrolled to the students, the SHS students, they are going to learn one foreign language. Yes, let me put it that way. The SHS4 no aban say compulsory. I was said students but could be out to misunya a foreign language. In the end, you to my French, you to my Spanish, you to my Dutch, you to my Italy for Chrome Italian. And you know, yet a Ghana, Yensuya China, Yensuya Chinese, Yensuya Spanish. Yes, I know.
And it will be compulsory for each student.
See, I buy net na share near my higher education system. On say adeba kwa higher NSS students no. Omun to me nsuya foreign languages here. It is here yeah they no beshim. Nah. What do you make of this?
Someone says a comment this morning was so funny.
Okay, I'll be happy to hear the person's comment.
Also, there are better things the ministry can bring to our educational system. There are schools that do that already. If you want to learn, go there. We have not even finished learning our own language. Shall we they think?
It's as simple as that.
And I'll side with what the text or whatever. You see, even no money be have even outlived its purposes. Our curriculum nankasa look, we are in Ghana. We share common boundary. Eventually all our neighboring countries are French speaking countries. But how are we even able to even speak the French language? French now, your neighboring countries now they speak French. We are unable to even communicate fairly with our neighboring countries. When our ministers and what have you are traveling, they move with interpreters. Then you say you want to introduce another language, they should go and study another language and do what? And go and do what? And say, no, Makosuya, Italia, say Italy, Casa. Now, the idea, am I going to use that to go and sell at Makola or Kejitia? Let's get serious. These people, and I'm going to say, look, let's get serious. PK, let's get serious as a nation.
Sure.
Because no money be it is good, But ask of the timing. Is the timing right at this point in time for some of these things? Wabre even said English language in literature in English. Our students are failing. And puna brofuna as we read it as an omu faili poto. Intinia order than yen shemo kenan engina. We always want to copy and go and copy blindly. Go to China. How many people are in China seriously learning English in China?
Exactly.
Or three.
Yes.
Are we serious? Charlie, the politician must always speed up their game. As who are there on money here, our needs and wants, and provide it. And stop sitting in the comfort of their offices. That is the direction you have to go. It shouldn't be like it shouldn't. And yes, I say bano.
Sure.
Me say yeti ye wo Ghana how bet me nya Ghanaian. Even common tree pon to me and you to end to me ni nua enka tree. And cry ye local way crampo nyo obi ampo no tumika. Ose nkosua another foreign language. Na ye dey amaye. I don't want to know the impulse. Are you getting it? Some of these things is a good move, but the timing is wrong. Not now.
Looking at the things the educational system
needs. A lot of things you need to go through. A lot of now, Masa. Dear man,
But don't you think that would be easy for students who get the opportunity to study in these countries to communicate with people fluently over there?
But PK, you call UCC. You will be more UCC or Musha Chinese.
We have school of languages.
Even in UCC, but Saturday way now, no, they have a reason. What could do Germany now? Could do 1 year? Be on country say German kasa. Automatically you learn because you want to survive at the place. Any means anyhow, you get to know kasa because you should be able to communicate with the people around you. I went to do my national service as Seshi, a contombra in the Western region. Kasan min can be da min ti be da. I see service is 1 year. I realized I was speaking the language without nobody sat me down to teach me how to speak the Sefi language. And yet deliberate or conscious. But once you find yourself in their midst, automatically, into yen here and say abene fata. Let's stop some of these things. So into a country we na heading. And me and person me. So ministers should come clear on this. We want to learn one for okay, good. Now, minister, languages are in our utumika. Then you should show the way. Go back to the classroom and go and learn it and let us know. Oh, Master, let's get serious.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Bexon said you should get serious.
That's why you should get serious.
But I mean, honestly speaking, what is the basis of this whole thing? What did the article say of the reason why the minister
is calling for
this?
Okay, and I make us say even per se we are bent on getting a language study there. It should be French. And French in secondary school nadia. Secondary school a bit of French, you did JSS.
Yeah.
When I went to university, I did a bit of French. But any crime there work French na me when me huni opachere. But my I try when exams cry. Are you getting it? Intine home the enshemu kenana enu ntumi njina. Rather than say misplaced priorities. It doesn't help. A woman say but bisa ho say that nanka say onponi enshemu kenana say. How well have you grown that? Kosko nwura bebre eguso esanso inviting nwura bebre aba beka. Let's make progress. Enjoy the
article.
Okay.
The Education Minister, Haruna Iddrisu, has revealed plans by President John Dramani Mahama to introduce a compulsory foreign language course for second-year students by the end of the year. The policy, aimed at boosting students' global competitiveness, will allow learners to choose from a range of international languages, including French, Spanish, German, Chinese, and others, depending on their academic interest. Haruna Iddrisu emphasized that the initiative forms part of a broader effort to reform Ghana's educational curriculum under President Mahama's leadership. So that is it.
Okay, well, And we saw my son the
yeah, these interventions are part of the government's renewed focus on improving the quality and relevance of education in Ghana.
That is it.
How does this improve the quality and relevance of?
Into China, China, the qualities. Ubet me a supermarket. I could in common water there. That's the quality.
I mean, this in a way looks like a total mispriority.
Yeah.
Total.
That's how I see.
Just last month, we saw them hold a forum discussing the educational system, what it needs and how it should be.
Yeah.
So are they telling us that
the outcome has been a year who's animal?
You know, almost say for 3 days was the same. And we need to learn Japanese, Chinese, French. French import their list.
Your neighboring countries need at least.
But
Abanon Conombre beam.
Yeah.
But you know, people make money learning these languages. Because you serve as an interpreter.
See, but we are not saying that getting to know this language is a bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
But to enforce it in our
curriculum. The chinchinachi. It's a must.
How many countries?
Mandatory.
How many countries are doing this? Say, they are shame. Say, monko munsuya Ghana for kasa. Sabrof, we have whites here who are learning our language.
Yeah.
And it's optional.
Yeah.
They came here to learn it for their own purpose. They know why they are learning it. Fine. We have people here, Ghanaians, who are the School of Languages, learning other languages for their own purpose. That's fine.
Bilingual secretaries and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But for you to enforce it on us, for what exactly? For what exactly? I mean, we have TVET. I thought they were going to inculcate the TVET into our secondary education to make it a compulsory thing. And could be a free SHS, no? Now at least you have a skill.
Yeah.
That is what the education system needs.
Should be looking at. That's what they should be looking at.
But to be learning Chinese.
No, they.
She for one sign. One sign on movie so. Na maka say mo hwehwe ya wa de akotwa movie. Nti ye den.
Yeah, curriculum na you should that. You ma be kra o ma. It has academic purposes. What I say, I don't know how to go into it and then. But you were learned people, highly inclined intellectuals who have education or whatever, mo go into say workshop or say round table. Na mu fi mu ba na mo we ni bi sade we a
plan of Muhammad
na o man boka to pay people to think for us
na
sade wi bi ni everybody na you see
nice
yam penny for no
as o mumu no but
I make say PK we have our say they will have their way me say ade we ebeba so life.
No, but I think the public should take a stance on this. They can't always impose things on us, things unnecessary things like this on us.
So for me,
made it even
for me, that is
that is what
if
it
you
should
want
be.
to learn,
that is what it should
you
be.
choose it. And
that is it.
That is what it should be.
That is it. But who go kase o the Bible say curriculum ni say change must learn a foreign language.
If that is the case, I don't know why you say any change. I was say akwala bia sua kasa foforo e wo Ghana e ka ne kasa enti bia wo etwini a ale sua agaka ho wo ye Ghana sua e bia e wo ka ho wo ye wa sua something
because unim say even your local languages and some are indistinct bebre e fedi o e fedi from the system and we deliberately as a nation we've not paid attention to some of these things. You say on my deliberately one na mane na mambre one preserve over time no na just say how man no is not learning to leave something good for posterity. Are you getting it? Ghana how share obia some way somehow. Se brofum po na onti a odi twi be kasa first. Hoping that say nipa no obeti wase. And for how many Ghanaians are even able to understand the twi? Now feed there musi enkosu foreign we make am.
It's a no-no.
It's a no-no. It's a no-no.
Or maybe better so they could have substituted it with the French. Maybe so when you're in school, they have French, Spanish, or something. So if you want to learn French, you choose that course, then you learn French.
See.
But I don't know if they want to make that course.
Okay, possibly maybe because they haven't rolled it up. Let's see. Maybe when they roll it out, you get to know. Maybe I'll be corner. Say nanka mehe students and then there should be a survey, deliberate survey to know that we have over 5,000 Ghanaian students who are studying
Spanish,
Greek, or they are studying this. Now you say, it's making an impact. Because I know that most of these students will be swerving this subject.
Yes.
Now me, I went to SS. Yeah. I went to SS. I was supposed to choose between literature and French. Quickly, I ran away from the French class. Went to the literature class. Because brofunu cry read and I casa me
that's very true.
How you getting it?
Sometimes the way they structure the courses.
How many students are very happy and bold anytime maths teacher comes to class? No code so number be and put a maths no. These people.
No, sorry.
Get serious.
Do we still have R&B in our
it's taking off.
So the moral education
rather is taking
that
off.
we all grew up with.
Yeah.
And now we share in Kuala, they don't see the essence of gratitude. They don't see the essence of apologies.
Yeah. Because if all these things were highly still prevailing in our learning processes, some of these things we will not be seeing them.
Most of it. They are able to morality. See, when you go to these countries, you go to Japan, Korea, and that, and Kuala almost first 2 years in school. Class 1 to class 3. Won't you any other thing? You learn more. Mr. Mini Baby to Oko school. Japan.
Okay.
A friend make us in Mr. Young Camu. Also, I'm quite na school compound or what's na say, as you dear Kakra. Na Bibisa no Jan laptop or quay wa maybe in refi or so dawa no I say oh yeah. Yamushini, hey, already my laptop, me. Or dimri cabao, or buy any or coffee.
Okay.
I did chin now or kana, or the students in the kitchen. No, relax, we'll go work on it.
Every phone here. How do you phone here? It is under control, you get your thing.
Also, call even though not end out, but school security na say ye because of weather into opeja fi work or two baby man. Adichin omodi ashenansa.
That's it.
I say ni hu dream. I say kwesi. Ye kuro mu hwa. Na esa obag mu kura obedu fie na aye.
Na aye.
See, they deliberately, intentionally teach these things to their wards. And it's hard for you to experience corruption in some of these parts of the world. But I bear a constant usual something living with us. Because the little moral education and year one crown, we've taken it out of the curriculum. And now we are bringing a foreign language which will be of no essence to us in the adibia yebeye or mine women. I was say first of all, you faso de be bre or mine. And sana any adam faso yebenya to the outside world. Monsieur Spanish will come na me nya kwan ntu kwan anko Spain. And now Brazil
what will be the use of it?
Mediyede. But at least se misua ga dangbe misua ewe enu mpo de metuma tu kwanya fi akọ volta akonya adwuma bia saa kasa no beboa me
So mine, let's set our priorities right. That's it. Let's just set our priorities right. Let's set our priorities right.
When I saw it, I was shocked. I was like, and I saw news platforms here.
And this is going to happen under the regime of
by 2025
of
so
my highly respected politician, Honorable Haruna.
I mean, Haruna, where the what to meet Nasia be catch and say, Adia Mahama seeing into one's whatever. Into Mahama ne Kanya. One to men and charging so I did, and
even po Anya Mahama and Pope say, you see, Namika said the technical know-how people are those that were put together to oversee some of these things. So these are the people that we've paid to think for us in the educational
sector.
Yes. And we better say resolutions ni bi omode ba ne bi ni. Ebi ni o.
Yeah, koya na ye bai.
Yes, it is well. It is well. You see, and I'm as a nation, let's set our priorities right.
Okay.
Yes, let's set our priorities right.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next topic. Recently, there was meeting between the finance ministry in collaboration with Bank of Ghana and the IMF board. And after the meeting, the IMF came out to say that looking at the structures put in place by Ghana's finance ministry, the fiscal discipline, which in the past 4 years under their governance they've put in place, it's commendable and it's laudable. And in that regards, Bank of Ghana is expecting no losses in this fiscal year. Now we've seen Bank of Ghana make a bunch of losses, a huge bunch of losses in the past 5 years. Why your losses, baby. So with this comment from the IMF and with this assurance from the Bank of Ghana and this space of time, we'll take key over things. You know, what do you think has been the production of this outcome?
Okay, I think you see, so ko bi nchen kopre bosia na nipa nbe se bosia na kokoboy no obebo bosia no na wa start enuane awundi bi da na wa start store of fridge na ntwinam akoko yes well because you want to live large this time round. Remember that bosia so besen kotua o na se nipa no se bosia na wa begin you are putting the money into prudent use because a country that is highly dependent on foreign aid, the IMF must Ghana yakoela la shulelao. So if now we are putting prudent measures in place and we are being disciplined in even our financial space, it is good. That is the way to go. Because this IMF, they have their representatives in Ghana here monitoring how we are going about with the expenditure and those kind of things.
Sure.
Into one year discipline in how you spend that. Obana be pebusi obi en few. And then na Maya say it to me build the Ghana Beyond Aid. That is Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa was champion in a nkasani oma we na no ye nkode bia say yekoela la sule la say come to our aid. Say even a budget cramp no we must rely on foreign donors to make sure that our budget is able to election so if we are being disciplined now they are giving us kudos to it. I think it's good. That is the way to go.
Okay.
So that anytime be our because the amount because there is value for money.
Okay.
Oh, you choose cannot the why you disciplined. There's not because umunemu hochero afiska kakraba so ko ware third wife is so better than obedidi obeko market on so obehane to said well first and second no well so there should be prudent measure we should deliberately and consciously get things done. Are you getting it? Yeah. Because as a country that you are heavily dependent on foreign donor no onya onyo many ha one year discipline na yes can beba na fi dey blow scan who live some kind of large life because Charlie here near command na cha kakra ba no masa akesesem oye na nye bete. So if the IMF is now knowing and saying that deliberately we have putting things in place and then we are being disciplined in expenditure, it is good. Let's continue, let's sustain that momentum so that you buy his car to me their money. Now this cannot call you go and put the money to good use because I'm more here. They have their people around, they are monitoring how we are spending, how we are doing this and that. Until sometimes we want both our some man you do a name mere kakrani come yes employment mu hold on because no money be a ye ni na no, it has to do with physicals. Sika na de ye bibia until say anya discipline will be blowing money as if our head no day.
Okay. We were here when the president appointed the Bank of Ghana governor, right?
Yeah.
And we saw how people commented on it. Some were even saying that this man is not fit because he has issues pending in the court and all that. And in the space of 2 to 3 months, we've seen him stabilize the cedi against the dollar. We've seen measures projected showing an increment in our financial reserve about 1.3 at the end of the year. That's what they are projecting, and with that also assuring the country that we are not going to make any losses as a country in our fiscal financial space. What does this tell us about Mahama's appointment so far in general? Looking at the Bank of Ghana governor and the finance minister.
Well, for me, I always say that a Kunyana president team, he knows better than some of us. Until Bia onim sa me de no to a wo betume deliver mame. No the number. Go and deliver. So recently he made a profound statement. Say wo hwe na say adwuma no complain afa adwuma no to na ko. Get the job done. So the very governor who people were pinpointing and he have issues says and he's the one turning situation around at the place is making an impact. It should tell you His Excellency have hope in the people that were ordinary too many so you can't go and give excuses. You must go and deliver. To go and deliver, he has the right to take 2 million of the amount of friends and not baby because he believes in the potentials and then what everybody can bring to the table. That is why he did those appointments. And for me, the governor is doing extremely well because for IMF to even laud us that we are financially disciplined, it is good. Obisube did the same governor Nibio. Are you getting it? So you're able to weigh. Are you getting it? You're able to weigh. Until they give the appointment for you to come and get a job done, not a position to just come and occupy. So once you are there, deliver. Deliver to the best of your ability. And I believe the man is doing exactly that. He's delivering to the best of his ability. Let's only hope he maintain the same momentum and status quo, and then we can move forward and then go far. That is it.
All right. So if we should look at some of the things that happened under the previous government or the previous Bank of Ghana governor and the previous finance minister, what went wrong for them and what is going right for the current ones?
The whole thing is about leadership. Obi also need leadership skill and as a star. Are you getting it? So when you weigh the two, look at the finance minister then, Ken. difference na I mean no say one should buy.
I mean crowd say last year.
Until be on a skill at forcing you have a skill. The former governor and this one. So it boils down to leadership skill. Obia and odi omano we na nyoma owo within obetum de atoto na kwem.
But I stand to be quoted though. But Atopherson was part of the finance committee under the previous government.
But yeah, but if you are part of finance committee, you are not a final decision maker. Also, your oversight responsibility. Yeah. And one also and I make us say you have your say, you have their way. Yeah, Ato is inclined. What being? What's your their finance? They do it. What can yate? Nanso nyano na yepese the age man this time. Oh, what can we do? So you have your say, you have their way. Tell them say leadership skill. So the Nipana or as a minister, no, he has something unique under his sleeves, and he's joining hands with the governor, who also have the best to his ability, and they are giving us the results that the IMF is even louder than us today.
Okay.
So are you getting it? Oh, beyond in the Mesabi, baby a Piketi, maybe I'd make a console that year. Met to me, but and yet to say, are you getting it? See the special magic he possesses and how he gets things done will be extremely different from how I also be doing it.
Right.
And we wouldn't be getting the same result.
Yeah.
We can't get the same result.
Sure.
It is so been a time we were making losses. Obi so disciplined. And my Neoma is taking shape. So that is how it is.
Okay. Okay. Is you satisfied?
Yeah.
And see, looking at our financial stability now as a country, even without the involvement of the gold board, yet, what do you project once the gold board officially takes effect, begins to gain revenue to cushion the financial reserve of the country?
And I make us say, or mind be able to say, let's grow the nation and grow the people. Better say, Sikabawo mine yen imports sustainability no yeah better so that we can export more. Are you getting it? So when there is a deliberate policy, when we deliberately try to get things done in this manner, it will help grow the nation. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think so. Mind be a better say. Or then go back to Somalia, but Somalia too is a country. How many people will want to go and queue just to travel to go to Somalia? Are you getting it? There is no financial stability. Be papa be anywhere cause by no so your mind.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you must deliberately do things to stabilize your economy, to even make your economy attractive to investors, to even wanting to come and then invest. Rather than leakage, they living and taking their businesses outside your country. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So when things, the gold board position things, and they also begin to, as it were, elevate our revenue as a country, no money more there. So that the young boys will not be struggling to be jackpot here and there. We all go to Ghana and there. And we will cry. We will suggest for some few vacations, then you are back.
Then you're back. Okay. But sure is a maybe to Mama Japan.
Oh, but you see, Obi wa brochire na yema nanka wa bagana because of maybe the bills ni other way na de. But Charlie, my bagana pa de ene na mesha ho. Ene metina here. I want to die in my shoes. I'll prefer to be here and die than to come to Ghana.
Come back.
Are you getting it? Yeah. So when we deliberately position things na ye ni oma here. Nipa no be kokra for some few vacation na waba because Ghana they enjoy everything good here or ne dine them na or ne business be crack he's fine. Nobody will want to jackpot and then just to become stranded in somebody's land. Are you getting it?
Yeah, sure. Easy. So you know go jackpot.
Me if I guess I will jackpot.
You see, but when everything is fine here and you're okay, you don't go jackpot, but you will come. My auntie told me that busu any be over 1 years afraid be some to bet me aba.
Obet me aba.
Okon pono en wo me auntie o. Obisa me auntie say obet me aba na. Oba obenya baby atena. It should tell you that when all is well, he will not even be wishing to coming back. Yeah. But no form no. Eso free fie bisa say oba obenya dan adem a.
Did I not call I went to me?
I think I make us say when everything is fine and everything is good here, you go by go come.
Go come back.
Home sweet home. If you any fee. You go Japan, I will come. They do your business small. Life is worth it around.
Okay.
I'm quite sad there. Obi man super and I will keep on cussing. Oh God.
Hey. Okay. Let's look at this topic here. The NPP. You see, every party has a constitution.
Yeah.
And then they attend to issues based on the constitution of the party. The NPP is calling for a constitutional amendment. Their party's constitutional amendment. In this stage of their political journey, where they just lost an election, where the party in a way looks disgruntled, where there is not so much hope for the followers of the party when they look at the stature of the party. Do you think that constitutional amendments at this time is one of the antidotes to the party's crisis now?
Thank you. PK, there's a saying that power emanates from the people. To me, biano, if in Crofun Muneba. What election? You went for an election, it didn't go well for you. Yeah. There's the need to go back to the drawing table, weigh the pros and the cons, how strategically you went, and you couldn't make it.
Yeah.
What went wrong? What went right? What didn't we do well? So let's weigh all these things. So it is good that the party is going back to have a constitutional review of whatever guides they are doing. Because remember that both the NDC and NPP, they all have constitution that govern what they do. But then your constitution, draws na holding from the mother constitution. Into na onyoma be out to me, I won't say party for na be no asan tam no the court. So kwakwaji nchirim because it is the law that rules and nothing else. And no law supersede that of the mother law with the constitution. So it is good. Your co-election, you didn't show. And you didn't show. No, let's go back to the drawing table. What did we do that we didn't do right? You see, Obey MPP ni, we social sympathizer. Most more kotoa by say a free BB delegate system.
Yeah.
Na yeti area we mu. And chomse delegate. Ma me no call back fridge. Egu wheelbarrow. Our Jenny envelope. Hey, delegate, anije kukuku or the fridge na ba be sinifie. Asan kuta envelope. What you vote here back? Me so am sympathizer, me so me vote here back. Na me nya bi. Na se do there, na me be die wiem abeto abama. Who does that? Because when you are the privilege to become a delegate, so you are enjoying goodies to my detriment. And you do amen kotokura. Una unya afraid kokoto abana. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So these are some of the things they need to reconsider. Their delegate system. Expand it. Because more or less acquire the highest bidder. Se nipa no wo scan obe to me to anko ade obe wini. Obe to me to no bi obi kotuto we bicycle na for you see things to induce people simply all in the name that they are delegates. So if you are going through a constitutional review as a party or they are going through a constitutional review as a party, they need to look at some of these things, open up their electoral college so that it doesn't become that a handful of people will determine for the masses. Because when you have over 10,000 people voting, can you buy TV for all these people. Are you getting it? Yeah. So it is good, and I believe that they will be going for early Congress around July, and it will prepare the ground for some of, because Congress is the highest decision-making body of the NPP.
Okay.
After NEC, after National Executive Council, Congress is the highest decision-making body. So it is good they must go and table all these proposals within, so that other than that, say quite the highest bidder, obiso a party nimu, he have what it takes to even lead. And that's all way. And because financially, all needs to be satisfied the electoral system, they be I think go to his disadvantage. So it is good that as a party, you've gone into an election, you have performed abysmally, things couldn't go the way you expect, at least. And Kanyoma Odeshe and Akwem Nukrampo should have given you the chance to continue from there. But the Ghanaians said, no, for 2 minutes now due to ABCD. So let's go back to the drawing table. The ABCD that didn't give room for you to recapture power again. Go and correct those wrongs. Okay. And for me, one has to do the electoral college.
Okay.
They should expand. Card-bearing members should determine who leads or who takes position within the party. They are card-bearing members.
Okay.
Because me too is kuta card. Now obisu kuta card, obisu otuani deals na they like your well structured way.
Yeah.
They be ano ye ko say ye ko to aba. Any handful of people be na you coerce them. Are you getting it? Yeah. And so they now NDC MPP, they are guilty of this. They are guilty.
Yeah.
The highest bidder. Obi beba ne bi abemo obi 505 obi ahwe obi over 1,000 over maybe 1,200 delegates will vote within the constituency. Na ya share envelope ma obi 2,000 na sika mo ko nyafin. Now you can't set it, the number will move beyond the 1,200 and maybe you'll be looking at 5,000, just a huge margin where you can't, monocracy can't come into play, whereby you have to set it for when the electoral college is well expanded. You can't just maneuver your way through trying to bribe people to go and do a bidding for you. So it is good that they are going to a constitutional review. They need to go and review the outcome of the election, help them to make an informed decision. Getting it wrong, they should go and get it right.
Okay.
That is it. Because this is politics, you know. As a who niska to me and one because of Sanoma way in Nantina, Noma be ACC over time, ye ni control also. Because opposition, hereska ababe win election. Enti obi fra wechi na so de bibia aba se uni baby okonya ni sika efiewura so amegumu chapo om de aba yen so de ba babu ani why even lie your morality how the baby san sika wo ko fafin you need money to go and win election.
Sure.
Into what was can whether sabe a cocaine money or whether just name it.
Sure.
Because you need money to go and win an election.
Yeah.
Even yet your baby cry say guarantee baby as a party here ska. So money must come so that you be scanner they around the party.
Okay.
But when we deliberately align things, when we deliberately position things, so it is a good call that as a party they are going to a constitutional review to be able to go and get things done and then do it right.
Okay.
But to be within the ambit of the law.
Okay. Well, that being said, we've seen the Professor Okwe's reports. So we the reports and other. And you made mention of something here which is very profound. The party power, the power of the party belongs to the people of the party. This report is out and yet it hasn't been made public to even the people of the party. Now if we don't know the report of this, the content of this report, things that went wrong, things that we as a political party need to get right, we as a people, as party followers, as party delegates and all, if we don't get to know these things, how do we correct ourselves and even move into amendments of the constitution? Because they've made it an open ground for people to share their ideas on things that needs to be considered in the amendment of the constitution.
PK, they'll get to know
Really?
You said that Professor Butcher's report, NDC started their campaign immediately they lost the election.
Okay.
And the outcome of the Professor Butcher's report, helped them to shape their doing to come and win this power. I am telling you. Inti Mba openly, because General Secretary has made it known that copy near one pay.
Okay.
Inti ni ene nam from say we na say we should disregard it. But however, what I can say is that they must implement whatever is in the report to the latter. Sabi your party more party hierarchy. You have people, officers, from the polling station executives to the coordinators, to the regional executives and to the national executives. You can route whatever recommendation thereof from a formal to trigger upstairs.
Okay.
And you can do same. And they will have means to get those things executed.
Okay.
ABA, as part of their strategy to reposition, realign, whatever it is, and you're proper, say share with the public domain. Fine. Because Professor Butcher's till at man site many boso and whom but then DC was deliberately able to coin things around that and to the power.
Okay.
So if they want to remain relevant, MPP to able to capture power, whether the next 4 years or whatever to come, they should go and implement whatever is in the report to the latter. And that is the way to go.
That's the way to
because go. I'm happy that they went down there to go and seek the views in every constituency.
Okay.
They met party people.
Okay.
They met party executives. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
And if these people are giving you that, so that next time what you mean win election.
Okay.
So it is not some armchair kind of research. They went down there to go and solicit for views and opinion of the party people. Into when you this in our interview, I can say be on new side into wow party people now. Okay. So that you go and do it right.
Okay. But have you heard Rashid Tanko?
Rashid Tanko.
Yeah. Have you heard his claim that they actually have a report of the NPP's Okui's report? A copy of the report.
Senior. Yawaha Emma party for MPP for to me question them ko meeting. Ebe we na leaky. Are you getting it?
Okay.
And this in to me question them ko meeting a third party MPP ni bi ankan bombe we na leaky. Hey, possible.
Okay.
Obi bro for us it is possible. Hey, possible. So fine. Obey to me, it can be true, it can be false.
Yeah.
Because NDC to me koyo meeting MPP ni to me leaky na ba it is possible under the cover of the sun.
Okay.
No I wouldn't take it hook line sinker, but it is possible.
It is possible. Okay. Our time is almost up. Before we go, last week a series of something happened in the medical center, the Ministry of Health.
Okay.
First off, we saw there were complaints that the Tamale Teaching Hospital, there were a whole lot of complaints from the wards there, the patients there, that how they are being treated there is unfair and all that. So during the course of the week, the Minister of Health made an August visit, a surprise visit. They weren't expecting him. They just saw him there and he was there. And he saw some things which weren't going on well. And also met a situation there. A situation where a young man has died. And the people, the family of the young man felt it was due to negligence by the doctors or the workers of the hospital, which caused the death of the man. So the minister wanted a further idea of what actually happened there. It got into a confrontation with the doctor there. Did you hear this story?
Yeah, I heard this story, but I really didn't follow it that much.
Oh, okay.
But anyhow it is.
Yeah.
The sector minister has an oversight responsibility in some of these things.
Okay.
Are you getting it? We mentioned one of Africa's finest president, John Magufuli. He visited the hospital unannounced. When he went, things were in a disarray. Doctor said, "So much show me a Juma na adeno. Obape, no, I'm a referral, no, do about no private way, no, about show, no, aginisika. You see, until I bind there, no, became a rubber stamp to grow our own business.
Wow.
Obape, first of all, see you now that hospital no palm on fast. Go home. Or my new CEO appointment, go and take over. But more 1 week, change the narrative. And I say also cry myself a palm back. That is where we need to get to as a nation.
Okay. So you think that radicality is needed?
That is where we need to get to as a nation. Okay. Because I say Sana Nyoma Bekoso thinking that Ghana there's Sana ya deal.
Na ye normal.
Inti Sebian ye krano government hospital or hona ye ni bie na etumiko.
Yeah. Sure.
Enye na na ebenye ska am pese mebo hospital bidia betu advertise ka ha anti me advert amano. Enye na na ebenye ska accord those big one. But bind the mu de nka metam health insurance na me kwa. Ese etumi hwe me yi. But I bind the nti obi aye noma anyhow.
Yeah.
So if a sector minister who has an oversight responsibility will come, no who noma be even on announced visit, that is the way to go. Because ABA or saying or cram say or bar come back to turn your mind in a year just to welcome him as if everything is well.
Sure.
Meanwhile, no, everything is not well. So when it comes unaware, unannounced, it helps to have a full information as to the reality on the ground, so that there will be no massaging of the truth to him.
And you know the interesting thing, right after his visit, other hospitals started putting things. We saw other hospitals painting their hospitals, some cleaning their. Yeah,
and that is how it should be. So it's become a wake-up call for others.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
Ghana,
see, it's funny. Have you realized that most of our health centers are the most dirtiest places?
I'm telling you. Meanwhile, we have hospital administrators who are paid on monthly basis. So what are you administering as an administrator? What are you administering there as an administrator?
But
so for me,
people actually felt that the visit of the minister was an attack on the hospital and all that. What do you make of that?
And I make us say the minister has an oversight responsibility. So he's only discharging his duty. That's all.
Okay.
Or yeah, Jumani year, Yababona Baso. One year, Ghana for come heavily at him. Okay. So leave the man to work.
So you think what
we need results? We need results.
What he did was the right
we need
call.
results. So it's the right thing.
Okay.
Or from say me ba visitor me donyame.
Yeah.
Everything will be fine there.
Okay. All right. After he left there were things that they told him they needed.
Okay.
They even went on strike and all that.
Okay.
I don't know if you followed this
story. Yeah.
And they demanded some things from the health ministry, and he has provided it. Now, my question is this:
I don't know what I'm or buy and son. And see, one woman at home. One woman at home. Until I make a think of from say me bow, and everything will be fine. But one from Onumpoko, and they took advantage of his visit to even make a request before him, and he must get those things done. Yeah, because I buy Juma de Bebre na chin or form because he answer a chin or form.
Okay.
And so Waba, as a minister who has an oversight responsibility, is there. Leave him to do his work. Now, I'm born and now only a fair idea as to what is happening in our various health sectors, and make sure that they correct the wrongs in all these places.
Okay.
So there will be a benye GD says, I'm so many can go hospital. I can see him. I bind the I'll be given a better treatment or a fair treatment at these places.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for your submissions this morning. We will be drawing the curtains on the show here. It's been a delightful conversation with you wherever you are. Thank you for making time with us. Izzy,
you
are looking dashing today.
Oh, thank
you are in pink on a Monday morning. Hey, Izzy. It tells a lot too, but you know.
What does it tell? What does it tell? Ladies love.
Producer can be reached me back door, but you know.
Hey, what did you
say? So yeah, thank you once again. DJ Rock will be coming your way very soon with some delightful music. On production for me was DJ Q. I thank you, DJ Q. I thank the entire team, Ghana Talks Radio, the Breakfast Show. We thank you. We thank you for staying with us. Make time with us same time tomorrow for the come up segment. It's going to be a blast on the show tomorrow, so don't miss it. Mr. Beck.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for making the show.
Thank you too for having me.
Sure.
I miss home.
Sure,
for having me.
Welcome back home too.
Thank you.
All right. So this is where we'll be saying goodbye to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.
Are you ready to amplify your business